Girl Chic from Chic Speaks on it. Come on in. Come on in. Got a lot of updates for you. Come on in. We are going to do a sit-in talk. I got a lot of updates. I don't want to do a lot of moving around as far as with walking, driving. I want to make sure I get all the information out to you. So come on in. Like the video, like, share, and subscribe. Come on in. It's a beautiful day today in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day today in the neighborhood. Like the video, like, share, subscribe. Road to 4,000 subscribers. We recently hit our goal of 3,000. So we're growing. We're growing. Like my hair, we're growing. We're growing. So come on in. You don't want to miss these updates. Come on in. Hot topics. Who's that? Wendy Williams. She had her hot topics. This is Chic Speaks on it. Hot topics. Come on in. I got my notes. Y'all know it's not real unless she got her notes, unless she got her paperwork, unless she got her receipts. Come on in. Come on in. I know it's later in the day. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I got a later start. I got a later start this morning. And then I went to work. I went in the lab. I went in the classroom. I had to put my head down and get to work. Got a lot of pages of notes. It's a lot of information I have out here for you all. So come on in. Have your pen and paper because it's going to be a lot of information that I am going to give you. And much of it, per usual, you probably ain't heard it nowhere else. It may be out there, but this is your first time hearing it. So that's okay. It's okay. I'm doing the homework for you. But as I say, go out, do your own homework, fact check anything that you hear me say or any other person say. Go out there and do your own research. What's up, Jose? How are you? Y'all come on in here. Y'all come on in here. Class is in session. Wheezy said, I'm here. Class is in session. Roll call. Come on in here, honor students. My subscribers are honor students. If you are not subscribed to this channel, go what you doing? We are the honor students over here. We are lifetime learners. We ask questions. We be asking all them questions. We ask the questions that people aren't asking, y'all. I don't know. One minute I'm hot, then I'm cold. So I'm going to try to come out the jacket. But I'm in Georgia. Where are you? It's a little breezy today, but the sun's trying to pop out on me. The sun's trying to pop out. The melanin popping. The sun's popping. So come on in here. Come on in here. Weezy said, listen, if you want this work, you're going to subscribe. Yes. Welcome. Listen, I do a lot of research. I am a lifetime learner. And that's what it's about. That's how we come to know what we know. We seek out answers. It's rooted in questions. Smart people ask questions. Don't let nobody make you feel a certain type of way when they're like, Weezy, you just be asking too much questions. You damn right I do. The people who ask the questions are the ones who are in the know. That's how you know, right? Smart people ask questions. So just always remember that. And that's what I encourage over here in my little corner of the internet. We ask questions. We elevate. What they say, asking, you shall receive. Come on in here, y'all. Hit that like button. Double tap the screen. It's 55 of you all in here. I appreciate you. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I got a lot of notes. New York in the house. Where y'all rep your city, rep your state, rep your country. I know people from all over come in to check out my content, and I am so grateful. So grateful. And y'all, like, a lot of this information I have, it's impacting like different parts of the world, different parts of even the U.S. Austin, Texas in the house. I have some information that's impacting Texas. Well, we got California, Arizona, Miami. Listen. Those of you who may be new to my channel, listen, I don't know how to talk without using my hands. I promise you, if somebody probably were to tie my hands down, I'd be like a mute. So it ain't alive. Y'all know it ain't real unless I ain't unless I am doing my sign language. That's how I talk. Listen, I get it from my mama. I get it from my mama. I talk with my hands. But that's when you know it's real, y'all. Come on in here. We're going to talk about this job market. This is the first thing we're going to talk about. This job market, child. This job market. They said, listen, Sheik, it ain't nothing wrong with the job market. We have 4.2. We have 4.2% with the unemployment. We've been sitting at 4.2 for 4 months. Y'all, I'm going to break it down to you what these numbers really mean. What these numbers really mean, because I'm tired of hearing them talking about we at 4.2, but everybody and their mama talking about they done went to every job fair around town and ain't nobody hiring. You can see that for yourself. Go to LinkedIn. Go to LinkedIn. You don't even have to I don't even know if you have to have your little account to even just go on and look around. Go on LinkedIn and see all them people talking about how they didn't spend several months, years looking for a job. Do y'all know today I heard some young black man, he's a graduate from Harvard? That man said, listen, I can't buy no job. Listen, can somebody help me? Can somebody help me? I done graduated from Harvard and I've been working these little ins and outs jobs, and this ain't cutting. I need me a job. I need me a job. Even the Ivy League students are going through it. So for you to hear people out there saying, oh, we got all these jobs out here, you are MF and lie. Let me tell y'all where these jobs at. These jobs are falling in like McDonald's, Burger King, Walmart, CVS. It's so like the little low end jobs, or part-time jobs. Oh, they done threw that in the data too. Why they talking about, oh, all these jobs out here? Yes, for 4 hours. Who can survive off of working 4 hours a day? So what we doing, 20 hours a week? Y'all got to be careful. You know, you got to deep dive into this data. You got to deep dive into this data. And that's what I do, because I'm not a high level person. Listen, I go deep. Y'all know, if you've been rocking with me, you know, I deep dive. Look what these numbers mean. You talking about 177 jobs that are now out here. Okay, well, what they doing? What is it? Are you including Lyft? Are you including Uber? Oh, let me guess. You got DoorDash that numbers up in there too? Y'all better get into it. Y'all better get into it just like I get into it. But if you too lazy, you don't want to get into it, that's all right. Just follow me. Come over here. And I'm going to let you know what I found when I got into it. I'm going to get through some of these comments, and then, y'all, I'm going to work. Y'all know how I do. I'm going to work. I'm going into all this information. Steve says, hi, family in Douglasville. I'm not sure where is that. Okay, so Douglasville is maybe about an hour and a half probably from where I live in Georgia. Come on in. Crazy Justin says, companies have unrealistic expectation. 15 years experience with master's degree to earn 30K. That's what I'm talking about. A lot of us was sold on this trick bag. We was told, listen, I understand what you're saying, Justin. I got multiple degrees. I don't ever meet people who have more education than me. I'm just going to call it a thing. I have a lot of degrees. My most recent degree is a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. So a lot of what I talk about, I insert mental health, the mental health aspect, and how we mentally going through it because of all this ish that's going on in the world. Oh, it's impacting our psyche. This is a mind, body, and soul type experience that we are dealing with, rightfully so. So I talk about the political aspect of, everything, but then I'm going to hit you with the psyche as far as how psychologically it's impacting people. And y'all know, when it starts breaking down up here, everything else starts breaking down. The body starts breaking down. So you got to keep the mind strong. And a lot of people, mentals are breaking down because of just the ish that's popping off. This job market that they trying to sell us on, that they saying that's better than. We all know dang well that this job market in the USA is trash. It's trash, yo. It's trash. We know it. I know it. You know it. If you don't know it, well, you finna learn today. You gonna learn today. So currently, Lyft's like, listen, y'all saying y'all need jobs. I hear y'all. Let me holler at y'all. Let me tell y'all what Lyft got going on. Lyft said, hey, we are about to introduce robotaxis. You like, Sheik, what is a robotaxi? So a robotaxi is an autonomous vehicle that drives itself. So some of you all may have seen them in some of the cities around the US. I know the first time I saw one, I was in Las Vegas where I saw one, and it was in front of a hotel picking up some people in front of a hotel. And I think my husband or someone pointed out, like, yo, Sheik, look, there's the car. Is nobody driving it? It was my first time seeing it, and that was probably let me see, that probably was in maybe 23, maybe 2023, where I saw that. Where the vehicle was just driving its dang self. Like, it ain't nothing like seeing a vehicle. Ain't nobody up there behind no wheel, but you got some people in the back seat and that bad boy moving. You like, what the? Y'all, it's going down already. It's going down out here. Lyft announced that users will be able to take rides in self-driving cars starting this summer with autonomous vehicles, or AV. You might see the abbreviation as AV. And they are going to first hit the streets in Atlanta. Why they got to introduce it here where I'm at? Why we got to be the guinea pigs? They are coming here in Atlanta. Atlanta, this is where Lyft is going to introduce their AV vehicles, meaning that, listen, ain't nobody going to be in there but you and maybe your kids, your man, whoever you got with you. But don't think you finna be up there working somebody's nerves behind the wheel, trying to tell them where they need to go, how fast they need to drive, or whatever. Ain't nobody. You gonna be talking to your dang self. You listen, you in that vehicle on a wing and a prayer, like many of us are going through life on a wing and a dang prayer. That's how you finna be in that video in Atlanta. And make sure you got your seatbelt on. Make sure you got your seatbelt on. So it is coming here in Atlanta. 2025, the summer of 2025, it literally is going to hit differently. The self-driving technology will first be installed in Toyota Sienna's minivans that users will have a chance to take rides in. So when you go to book a car on Lyft, and you will see an option for the AV vehicle, and it's going to be a Sienna minivan. So you and all your 5 kids and your man, whoever you got, your man, somebody else man, whoever, y'all going to be able to be in this Sienna minivan, this Toyota Sienna. Get into the aquarium or wherever you trying to go, the underground, the Atlantic Station. Listen, remember, say your prayers. Say your prayers. If you don't have a higher power that you believe in, it will behoove you to identify one before you get up in that AV vehicle. I'm just saying, because they about to use the Atlanta people, the ATLians, as guinea pigs. Yep, sure is. I ain't making this ish up. Y'all can Google anything that I say. Oh, it's coming. Brown Lana said it's already hitting hard in Midtown. Yes, I was telling my husband about it because he was like, yo, what are you going to talk about? And I was telling him, he was like, yo, I've already been seeing the vehicles in Atlanta because he has to drive through the city to get home from work. I don't have to drive through the city. I kind of go around the perimeter. He was like, no, I've been seeing them. He was like, sometimes I'll see like these cars and it'll have someone in it driving it, but child, he was like, I've seen it multiple times where it's moving, there's people in it, and there is nobody driving it. But that's not the Lyft vehicle. What I found in my research is that there is another company who already have the AV autonomous vehicles, who already kind of have introduced them out to the world. They got them in like about 4 different cities across the US, and Atlanta is one of the places. Atlanta and I think Miami, they have them already. But Lyft is saying, yo, ours is coming this summer. Ours is coming this summer. Y'all can let us know in the chat if you've already experienced riding in an AV vehicle. Let us know how'd it go. How'd it go? I'm assuming if you here, you made it to your destination safely. Well, I might not say safely. You still kicking. You are still kicking. You still have breath in your lungs. It might have been a bumpy ride, but let us know in the comments how that experience went. What else it goes on to say? The next AVs will be introduced in Dallas, Texas. Y'all next. So first they Lyft experimenting with Atlanta. But listen, Texas, they said we on our way. We on our way to Texas. We going to Dallas. So y'all gonna get this work too. Y'all gonna be getting up in these vehicles, these self-driving vehicles as well. So that is to come probably starting like next year. And then they were like, after that, listen, it's only up from here. There will be thousands of vehicles in more cities to follow. So y'all know it's like all it takes is just one, and then it kind of gets the ball going. So that's what's happening. Lyft is introducing the self-driving vehicles here, and then they'll make their way to Texas, and then they say, bet, we done tried out 2 markets. If everybody's still living in the 2 markets we done tried and tested. It will be in a city near you very, very soon. Lyft will partner with the AV companies, the AV company Mobileye and Marubeni. So these are companies I've never even heard of. Marubeni, that's spelled Marubeni. So they're partnering with these AV companies. So these are companies that already have like AV vehicles. So Lyft like, yo, we want to get in on the plug too. So this is who they're going to partner with. The executive VP of Lyft, Jeremy Bird, this is what he said. He said the new venture could create more opportunities for Lyft drivers to earn money off of the clock by purchasing your own AV vehicle. So they're like, yo, some of y'all may be like, I wouldn't mind making some extra money through Lyft, but I got my regular daytime job. I ain't got no time, Chic, to be going and driving folks around, taking folks to and from the airport. I just don't have the time. It's not enough hours in the day. I need the money, but I don't have the time to do that. So what Lyft is saying, the VP of Lyft is saying, yo, invest in you an AV vehicle and put that bad boy on the road and let it do what it need to do. You don't even need to be there driving the people, but you can still be getting to the bag, getting to the money, because your car is moving. Your car is moving. Passengers are in it, and you are making money. You are making money. So this is how they're encouraging people to get in on this Lyft plug. Get in, start working on getting your monies together to get you an AV vehicle. I'm not quite sure how much they cost. I didn't do that research yet to see how much. Y'all can let me know in the comments. I do got my laptop here. How much is an AV, an autonomous vehicle going for? How much they cost? Because Lyft is strongly encouraging people to go out and purchase their own. This is what he also had to say. Bird, the VP of Lyft, also said drivers today come to the Lyft platform for many reasons. One of the main draws is the flexibility it offers. The only limit is their own schedule, since they need to be available to drive. This is a very real hurdle today. But over time, personally owned AVs will remove even this limit, allowing people to earn while they are working another job or taking care of their families or sleeping. Y'all know people say you need to get a hustle where you can earn money while you sleeping. Lyft said, listen, we got the plug for you. Invest in you an AV vehicle, sign up with us, and listen, once you register with us, people who need a Lyft ride, they need a car, they want to use an AV vehicle, they can use yours. Your vehicle can be a vehicle that they can sign up to use. Just like if you were a Lyft rider and somebody's using your vehicle and you're physically driving them wherever they need to go. Well, it's the same thing. It's just that your AV vehicle will go to wherever it needs to go to pick them up and drive them to wherever they need to go. And you still at the crib parlaying, spending up all the money you don't have, because this economy is like in the pits of hell, but but you got wheels out there moving, because kind of like a truck, as long as the wheels are moving, you're making money. So this is where we are at. Currently there's 4 cities in the US that have self-driving car services. That's going to be Phoenix, Arizona, San Francisco, California, Los Angeles, California, and Austin, Texas. Any of you in this chat live in any of these cities? Have you seen these self-driving vehicles? Have you ridden in them? Are you interested in investing in one to try to make some extra change? Let me know. Let me see, get into the comments. Brolanda says, ain't no way I'm getting on the highway and then letting one of those. Listen. If you know, you know. Atlanta, AV vehicles, your mind, them two coming together. It's a hard pass for many people if you understand what the driving experience is like here in Georgia. But this is where we're at. Christine said the best car to buy with the lowest emissions are not an AV, but are the diesel engine power car. Berlin says, spending up the money you don't have. True. That's what we doing. Spending up the money we don't got, like we our economy ain't in the pits of hell. Double tap the screen, hit the like button. The AV company Waymo has announced plans to expand its services to Atlanta and Miami in the near future in 2025. I don't understand why Atlanta got to be everybody guinea pig. I done told you, I don't understand. And we got the worst traffic in all the land. I think arguably what you got, LA might have us beat, but LA and Atlanta, listen, the conversation centered around the bad traffic is always in the same conversation. Like, you're not having a conversation centered around bad traffic without mentioning Atlanta and Los Angeles. Like, but this is the place where you want to experiment with self-driving cars. Okay, y'all make sure y'all got y'all insurance together, and make sure your insurance is gonna cover any accidents where you in a vehicle and it wasn't nobody driving. Because normally in the little police reports, and when you do your claim, they inquire about the driver and all that, and you gonna hit them with, well, it wasn't one. What do you mean it wasn't one, Sheik? I said it wasn't one. I need to get to Walmart. I couldn't find the keys for my vehicle. I had to call Lyft, and that's what they sent, and I damn got in it. So this is the story. Y'all get y'all story together, because people gonna be looking at y'all like all kinds of crazy. But this is the way of the future. Today we say what we ain't gonna do, but 10, 20, 30 years from now, when it becomes the new norm, everybody probably finna be in one of these bad boys, because like I said, it's going to be the new norm. Brolena says, yes, Atlanta infrastructure was not designed for the city's unexpected growth, hence why insurance is ridiculous. Dominic says, don't give the cops a hard time. Listen up, buttercups. Listen up. AV company Cruise has been testing Phoenix and Austin. So Arizona, Texas, in Texas, listen, they trying to experiment with y'all too. Get ready. They are coming. They are coming. Like I said, check your insurance. Make sure that it's going to cover any type of mishaps or whatever. Because y'all know they're going to be inquiring about the driver. It ain't going to be one to speak on. It ain't going to be one to speak on. Question: will you invest in an AV vehicle and earn extra income from Lyft or Uber? Let me know. Let us know in the comments. How y'all feeling today? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Let's see. Christine says, if you study epistemology, ontology, and axicology, you will come to the conclusion that all of it is all endless. No way can any of this or scientists map out the knowledge, but yet we have the manual. But here's the thing. So how do you explain, like, these vehicles that are already out here doing it? Like, these cars are already out here. Like, I witnessed it with my own eyes, the moving vehicle, and like no one behind the wheel. So I was quite surprised when Google showed that the only 4 cities that had self-driving cars were Phoenix, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Austin. Because I'm like, the one that I saw was in Las Vegas. I know what I seen. You don't forget when you see a vehicle moving and ain't nobody behind the wheel. You just don't forget that. You just don't forget that. I know I didn't forget it. It left a lasting impression on me. I know that. It left a lasting impression on me. Next, so let's take this conversation further as it comes to these jobs. According to Forbes, this was as of March 2025, the U.S. job market is undergoing a remarkable transformation. This is what they called it, a remarkable transformation. There is a shift towards a greener economy that is projected to create approximately 170 million new jobs this decade. However, this transition comes with disruption. Approximately 92 million jobs may be displaced, leading to a significant workforce restructuring. So you all, we're seeing this. So this was as of March. Y'all, think about what has popped off just in the month of April, and now we're in May. This tariff situation have just taken us into an entirely different direction. So as I was doing my research and listening and reading up with what these different news outlets had to say, centered around like the economy, what I came to notice is that a lot of the write-ups didn't really factor in like these tariffs and how the situation with the tariffs is changing the game for a lot of industries. So I'm taking note of what they're saying, but I'm also inserting like updated information as it pertains to the tariffs and the impact that it's having on many industries. It's having a big impact on many industries. Current trends of the 2025 workplace: there is a rise in AR-driven hiring, the stabilization of remote and hybrid work, and contract-based jobs. 62% of employees are willing to take a 10% pay cut just to stay at the crib, just to work at home. How many of you all be willing to take a 10% pay cut just to be able to do your job at home? Just not even leave the house. Work-life balance. They talk about work-life balance, right? Work-life balance. Because 2020 changed the game for a lot of companies. I remember the company I was working for at the time. Oh, we would kick and scream about having opportunities to work from home. The only people they gave the opportunity to was the people in leadership. They had all the excuses in the world as to why it could not work. Y'all, why as soon as the pandemic, whatever you want to call it, kicked off, overnight, laptops came, they were just flying out the sky. Overnight, suddenly these companies just found ways to make it possible for people to work at home. I bet the heck they did, because they seen a bottom line about to be impacted. Because if somebody ain't in the office doing the job, and you not letting them do it at home, I don't know how we're making money to keep the lights on. So I found it quite interesting how these companies who for years played around and acted like it wasn't possible to do a lot of these jobs at home, a lot of these office jobs at home, when overnight suddenly it was just possible. Really. So a lot of people, so now since it's been tried and tested, and people know what their companies are capable of doing because they watch them do it. A lot of these companies are trying to go back to requiring their workers to come back into the office. And as a result of that, many people have resigned from their positions and taken on new positions at other companies, even if it's offering maybe like a hybrid opportunity. I've noticed just when I've done searches in the job market for, I would say probably within the last 6 months, I don't really see that many 100% work from home opportunities, but what I do see is vast majority being a hybrid opportunity. Hybrid mean part at home, part at work. So for example, at a 5-day work week, they may say, even if they say you can work from home one day, they considering that hybrid, because you got that one day to make it do what it do, take care of your affairs, handle your business, let the electrician in, do whatever you need to do around your house, go to your child conference. You got that one day for work from home to be able to make it do what it do without using your own personal time. So minimum one day is considered a hybrid work situation. And a lot of companies are doing that. They're offering the hybrid work situation with minimum one day. A lot of people during the pandemic, they got used to either being at home full time, 5 days a week, or they were home majority of the time, maybe 3 days. Right now, I go into the office 2 days. Those are the days I do my car chronicles. The other 3 days, I am at home. But when I explore opportunities and things with looking for another employer, it's important to me as to the frequency I'm able to work from home, because my life has been centered around just going into the office 2 days a week for probably since the pandemic. 1 to 2 days a week. Rarely I'll go in 3 days a week, but it's not that often, child. You getting 3 or more with. It's just not that often for me. But a lot of companies are wanting to go back to having the employees come back into the office. So peep game, let me tell you what I learned about why they want people to come back into the office. One, these companies, a lot of them, their buildings, they lease their buildings. So they're wanting to have bodies in the buildings because hell, they paying for it. Also, a lot of these companies are getting tax cuts. They get these tax breaks and things like that by having people in the buildings. Also, I've learned that Having people in the building means stimulation in the economy. So think about it. When we were working at home heavily during like the pandemic, we were saving money on lunch, going out. Y'all know a lot of times when we are in the office, we just want to get away. So a lot of times getting away is going and sitting in somebody's restaurant, spending money that you really don't need to be spending to eat and have conversations, whatever, with your friends. But when we were at home during the pandemic, we were in the house, so we were saving. And then it wasn't even a whole lot to really be spending money on when it came to food because the shelves were scarce. So a lot of us like saved. I know me, I felt like I did the most savings from the 2020, 2021 because I was just at home. I wasn't spending money. Normally when I'm away from the house working, I'm going somewhere, I'm spending money buying food. So with that being said, that stimulates the economy because think about it. When we were at home and not outside frequenting these restaurants, those restaurants were suffering. How many of you, when you finally went back into the office, you took notice of businesses closed? They weren't around anymore because you weren't around anymore. You was at the crib. Who the heck walking up into CVS, Walgreens, Panera Express, all these restaurants? Nobody was frequenting these businesses because they were at home. So a part of the whole stimulation idea is to say, hey, require people to come into the office because when they come into the office, studies show they're going to go outside and spend money. They're going to go out and spend money. So that's the large reason why, even though we feel like, hey, we can do this job at home, many of us feel like we were more productive at home. I know I do. You don't have as many distractions. How many of you go in the office, you feel like you just talking. You just talking, everybody and everybody business, you catching up, shooting a breeze, and you're not really getting as much work done. But when you're at home, you don't have all of that. So you're able to kind of have your head down and you just putting that work out. Some of you may feel like you actually put in more hours. You work longer hours when you're at home because you're not factoring in, oh, Steph, I need to get up and get out of here so I can beat traffic. I need to get on the road. I got to rush to get to the daycare. I got to rush to get my child off to their extracurricular activities. Those are concerns we have when we're in the office, especially if you have a long commute like I do. My commute one way, mornings like an hour and a half, afternoons 2 hours. That's why I do my car chronicles. It helps me better navigate through the experience, but that my experience is not unique. Living in Georgia, that is basically the norm of how things are. Traffic is bad, so opportunities where we can work from home, like we're winning. Like we really look for those opportunities. So for me, when I think about, okay, working from home, would I be willing to take a pay cut? I would be willing to take a pay cut to work from home. But here's the thing with me. I only go in the office 2 days a week. So right now I'm good. I'm not at a point to where, hey, I'll be willing to take a pay cut. But if I was kind of had to be in the office maybe 4 days a week, like some people, then at that point, I'm like, I think I need to explore the options. And in that point, I may probably be willing to take a small pay cut just to be at home. Because remember, you're saving on the gas, right? Your car isn't moving. You're not having as much wear and tear on your vehicle. So working from home can be a savings. And even those of you who still pay childcare, your child, depending on the age of your child can still be at home with you. You don't have to pay the aftercare. So I can definitely see why 62% of employees are like, yo, listen, cut my check 10%. I'll stay at home. Fine. I'll make it do what it do. 72% of caregivers report that working from home has improved their overall quality of life. Driving in traffic can be very stressful. It can be stressful as you're trying to drive through traffic, and don't let you be rushing to try to get to somebody's daycare facility. Come on, somebody, listen, I'm not in that season anymore, but I was in it. You trying to get somewhere before they start charging you $1 a minute. When I left off the daycare game, it was $1 a minute. That child wasn't picked up by what? Let's just say it was 6 o'clock, 6:01, $1. Let you be 15 minutes late. I hope you're ready to send him a cash app for $15, a cash app, a Zelle, or however you're going to pay it. But you definitely got a bill. You have a bill. $1 a minute. Y'all let me know how it is where you're located, but $1 a minute. So that can create anxiety. People ain't even got it to pay whatever the 2 some 3 something a week that they already have to pay just for their child to be there during operational hours. So to add the additional expense on top of it, everybody on there, I ain't got it. Everybody on there, Tasha K, I ain't got it. I ain't got it. So I understand too why 72% of caregiver would be someone who's caring for anyone. You're responsible for someone. So it's hard to be away on somebody's job and trying to focus and do your job and try not to lose it, and then still have your mind on the people who you have to care for, whether it be your children, elderly parents, whoever. It's hard out here for a pimp. I say that almost on every live. It is hard out here for a pimp. It is hard. Ain't nobody exempt from that. That's why I got all these doggone notes. This is how hard it is. The more notes I come to live with, the more disturbing it is out here in these streets. The more disturbing. Marlena says, not to mention comfortable clothes and not having to buy fancy corporate outfits. Exactly. RSC says this doesn't apply to Japan because their people are not incompetent or stupid. Berlena says taking your dog out for a walk, elderly parents, everything, all of that. So that's where we are with that. I want to switch over to, so they're reporting right now the unemployment rate is about a 4.2%. They're like, hey, Sheik, it's at a 4.2. It ain't too bad. It's nothing too deep. All right, then I'm like, okay, let's take a deep dive. My question is, what industries have significantly suffered when it has come to job losses? That was the question I had. So this is the answer I got. Of the industries with significant job losses, y'all listen up, take notes, like the video. Let me read. Susan says, I feel if you're going to work, show up for your job. There are workers that will show up like before COVID, work like most people have to. So she said, if you blessed to have a job, show up to your job. And I feel you with that. My thing is, if you work for a company and they require for you to come in and do your job, then you got to do what you got to do. If you don't like that situation, then you need to look for you another job. Period. Life's about choices. If you're not happy with your situation, move around. But what you can't do is think that you're going to stay there and try to do what you want to do. And they walk you up on out of there. And now what you going to use, who you going to use for a reference. So you got to think smart. You definitely have to think smart. Y'all double tap the screen, like the video. So we're going to move on. Arturo says, thanks for your live broadcast. I'm watching from Mexico City. What's up, Arturo? How is the job market in Mexico City? I hope it's better than what it is in China right now, because y'all, China going through it. China is going through it so bad, y'all. I felt sad for them people. I went to bed. Now, this is why I got a late start. I didn't do a morning live. I was doggone feeling the pain of the Chinese people. Them people out there like, listen, Sheik, we on the streets. This man was like, I had 2 warehouses. I had employees. I had a house. I had cars. I ain't got 50 cents. He just tears just streaming down his face. He looked like he probably was maybe about 27. He was like, I don't have anything, like nothing. I am on the street. I'm homeless. I'm hungry. And it's because of just their economy, and with this situation with the tariffs, it has resulted in a lot of their manufacturing, their facilities closing, because they don't have anyone. Like U.S. was like a big customer of theirs. So it's like, okay, if we're making these products, who are we selling them to? Where are they going? Like, what are we doing? So the business owners, what they're doing is that they're closing down the facilities. And here's the sad part. A lot of them, the business owners have jumped ship on them, meaning that they done told them, yeah, I got you. I'm going to pay you on Friday. And then they ghost them. I repeat, this is what's popping off in China. So these people who own these businesses, they're having to close their doors because they're not making the money. They don't have, no one's buying the products. So the workers have still been working and stuff, trying to fill orders. But the orders, China isn't sending out orders and things to the U.S. because of the whole tariff situation. So the business owners have now told the employees, okay, well, stop working. Basically, the business is at a halt. And yeah, I'm going to pay you on May 9th. So there was one business owner who he promised his workers, hey, I got you. May 9th, I got you, May 9th. And they're not confident that he is going to come through. So now what they're planning to do, they're planning to take turns where every day somebody is like at the office, like at the facility, standing by the door, making sure that that man ain't finna run off like a thief in the night, where he don't come through, gather all his equipment, and then next thing you know, he on a boat to damn Afghanistan or wherever the hell he trying to go. So they're like, So they're trying to think ahead and work together on how they could make sure that this person, their employer, don't jump ship on them and just run off with all the money without paying them. This is a situation. They China like, listen, don't be coming over here thinking that you about to find you a job, because there was not very long ago where China was the place to be. You could come there. You can it was guaranteed you gonna have you a job. You gonna have you 2-3 jobs, however many jobs you want, you can get to it. They're like, listen, that is not the situation anymore. So don't think that you finna come to China and just have you a job and have you a consistent check coming in. That is not the case. China also, I learned, they don't have unemployment like the U.S. do. Even though the unemployment ain't nothing you can really kick your heels up like that, but it's something. China don't offer that. So basically, if you don't work, you don't make money. If you don't work, you don't make money. So they have a lot of people out there who are on the streets living off of oodles and noodles, because y'all, the Asian, they love their noodles. Well, thank God they like noodles, because that's basically all that they can afford right now. Noodles, rice. That's it. Noodles and rice. That's all you got. That's all you got. You got to add some hot sauce, some seasoning, some Lowry's, some salt and pepper, whatever to spruce it up. But it ain't no options for nothing else. You got you some noodles and you got you some rice. And everybody don't even have that, because that ain't free. You still got to have you a few little coins to even go and buy that. So it's very tough for a lot of people out there right now in China, and they're like, we don't know what to do. We've never seen things this bad, and we just don't know what to do. We're afraid. We are afraid. I felt the fear through my laptop. I did. I'm like, OMG, this is bad. This is bad. Right now, I have not seen it with all these tariff changes. People talk about it being as bad here in the U.S., but based on the headlines and the talks of recession and all that, it's projected that we will get there. Detroit says World Bank, China's economy grew at a robust rate at 5% in the first half of 2024, supported by consumer spending on service, exports, and investments in manufacturing and public infrastructure. So basically, just yesterday, they were winning. And that's how life be. Life be lifing. They were winning. The information I got from about the China one, it was I was on YouTube listening to just the local people just talking about, what's been going on. So it's one of those news outlets. But if you go out there on the internet, it's out there where the Chinese people are saying how bad it is. Now, my thing is 2024 really, even though that wasn't that long ago, compared to how quickly things are changing, things are just different right now. 2024, they weren't dealing with the U.S. having the 245% tariffs on them. It was different times in 2024. 2024, they hadn't blew up the spot by saying that they make all of the designer luxury bags. So 2024 and 2025 is hitting real different. It's hitting real different. So to me, it makes sense that their financial situation is going to be very different today, May 2025, than it was even August 2024. August 2024, they were still making Louis Vuitton bags, Lululemon clothes, all of that, and allowing for those people to really claim that they did all the hard work. So those brands were able to have these high prices because people were truly thinking that they were made wherever they was saying they were made. China was like, yeah, we knew, that we was only making pennies, and they was basically taking the credit for whatever, but it was what it was. So they were willing to just take pennies. Well, now they've revealed, they've let the cat out of the hat. So now it's impacted the bag for it. It was a domino effect to where when they came out and with their honesty, because they was in their feelings, because you can't come out and say, I'm the one make Lululemon clothes and then expect to still have partnership with Lululemon. Like, let me repeat that. You can't come out and say, I'm the one who did all of Louis Vuitton, Birkin bags. I did all of that, but then expect to still have a partnership where you're making their bag. Like, I don't see how you have it both ways. I don't see how you have it both ways. So August 2024, May 2025, yeah, it makes sense to me that the economy just about damn near everywhere is going to be real different. It's going to be real different. It's out there. Y'all go ahead, go out there, do your research. TK says, will the Chinese situation have any impact on the U.S.? Well, yeah, most of the goods that come from the U.S. comes from China. So I just said China have shut down shop. They're not making anything to ship out anymore. The ports are already feeling that. I've been talking about that on my other lives where the ports are kind of quiet. The ports are quiet, meaning that it's not a lot of activity coming through the ports because China have put 145%, I think maybe 100, it's 125, it might be 125% tariffs onto the U.S. and then the U.S. has like 245, I think, percent onto China. So that's the tariff war. So both countries are feeling the effects of it. But right now, China is actually feeling it more because they rely on making the goods and sending it over here to us for us to purchase them. But remember, with the tariffs on it, it would have it to be expensive for us to purchase those goods because now it's going to be a large markup on the product because the tariff is kind of shifted to the consumer. So with the Chinese government, the leader over there is saying, F it, we're not sending nothing over there. And matter of fact, don't y'all send nothing over here either. They just rejected like a really huge order with some meat. What kind of meat was it? There was a big meat order I talked about on one of my lives that China was like, nah, we good. We don't want it. So the U.S. had to turn the ships around and take it back and stick it in some freezers or whatever until they find somebody else to buy it because China was the one buying the meat. China also rejected the order for the Boeing planes. So the Boeing planes, the U.S. company, they make the planes and create the planes that a lot of these big airlines use. China was a big buyer of those planes. China recently said, nah, we good. We don't need it, and they're not even willing to buy the Boeing planes. They're like, well, we'll get planes, we'll get it from somewhere else. We'll find another plug. You see what I'm saying? So yes, both countries have created a dependency for one another. So if they're both saying, fine, I'm not going to do business with you, and they're saying, well, I'm not doing business with you, then this is where we're at. There's no movement. There is no movement. I've also reported around like truck drivers saying that their hours have been getting cut, or I've reported on a trucking company saying that they had to let go of people, and then the people who they did keep, they cut their hours in half because they don't have products to move around and to take to stores or wherever they take them to because there's nothing coming into the ports in California. The biggest port is the one in Los Angeles where like 80% of the imports from China, like they go through the Los Angeles report. So with the way the Los Angeles port, so what happens is that this port that's bringing in all these packages that comes from China, once the packages get there, the trucking companies, the trucks are there to where those packages are put on the trucks. And then the trucks go and circulate them throughout the country. You see? So if there's nothing coming through the ports, the trucks don't have packages to circulate throughout the country, so the trucks aren't moving. And if you know anything about trucking, you make your money when the trucks are moving. Truckers get like, that's why they have to drive like a certain amount of hours, and they have to keep a log, because you're paid based off of like your truck moving. So the truck drivers that really get to the bag are those ones who do like the cross country driving, because their wheels are moving more, so they're getting paid more. And that's why, like, on the roads, they have to keep logs, because you have to have a good amount of brakes for safety rise. So therefore, you're not just constantly driving and you mess around and fall asleep. So that's why they have to create this log on like how many hours that they can like drive at a time. So if a police or anybody ever pull them over and want to check out the log, they'll make sure that they're driving a safe amount of hours at a time. So these truckers, they like, listen, chief, we ain't driving at all. We not even driving at all, because there is nothing to move. There is no packages. There's nothing coming through the ports. And most of the activity that comes through the ports comes from China. It's not happening. It's not happening. So it's like a domino effect. So right now, truck drivers are now getting laid off or having their hours cut because they don't have the work. This is where we're at. You can look up all of this. It's out there. It's on the internet. Betty says, false. China export far more. They need us more. Yeah, I mean, they need us more, to buy their product. But if nobody ain't trying to sign up for this tariff to pay these tariffs, so you can make all the goddamn mattresses you want in the world. The video I watched, they was making they was making all kinds of stuff. But where is it going? Where is it going? It's supposed to come to the U.S. And if it's not coming to the U.S., because remember the leader is playing hardball with President Trump, and he like, F it. We not finna do business with you. Forget it then. Forget it. We're just not going to be, because we ain't finna be dealing with these tariffs. We not finna. So we just not going to do business with you. We going to look for another plug, which they have been doing. They have been finding other countries to do business with and things like that. But it's not going to be overnight that just the money is going to come in and the people there are going to be good. So right now, in the meantime, in between time, the people are suffering. It's all out there, y'all. Y'all can look it up. It's the people, was it earlier this week? They was out there boycotting on the streets. They mad at their leader. They're mad at their president because they're like, yo, you need to work something out with President Trump, because we own the soup line. We hungry. We are hungry. Like, you need to figure it out, because we need jobs, we need foods, we need roofs over our heads, we need to be able to take care of our family and our children. Hell, we need to be able to take care of ourselves. We need for you to work it out with President Trump. So they were over there heavy in the streets. I think it was maybe Monday night or something. They were out there boycotting. I think somebody even lost their life. Listen, all this ish is on the internet. You can go look. These people are not doing well over there. They are wilding out, rightfully so. Rightfully so. Joe says, yeah, but what are they make is cheap. It's not really costing them anything for real. But even if whatever they was making is cheap, they need somebody to still buy them cheap goods. So if it's not being sold to America, because y'all, we gonna call a thing. We have been buying those cheaply made goods for how long? Forever. Like, we've been buying them. So regardless on the quality, we've been buying it. That's why the vast majority of the goods from the U.S. come from China. We've been buying it. We can talk about now the quality, but people have still been buying it. Listen, it's bad out here. It is bad. Glitz says everything will work out. Renovating gets ugly before it becomes a beautiful place to live. People have to understand this. We all out here on a wing and a prayer. We're all hoping for better days. So let me talk about the industries that really have significantly experienced job losses. Leisure and hospitality. They have the highest quit rates, making it difficult to retain workers. While hiring rates remain high, many businesses struggle with filling positions. So this is going to be like your hotel. So think about like in Florida. Recently, they've been doing they've been really cracking down on like the immigrations and things like that. A lot of those people worked in hospitality. I learned recently that the vast majority of people who cross the border to come to the U.S., they come and their stopping point is Florida, Miami. Like, they want to go to Miami. Everybody want to go to Miami. The rich, the famous, the broke, the non-broke, everybody want to get to Miami. So including the illegal immigrants, that is where they want to go. Right now, that industry is struggling because it already has a high quit rate. So now where you have the illegal immigrants not really being able to be there heavy like that, working at these hotels, doing the hospitality, hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, whatever you want to call it, they ain't there like that. So you're going to have to, it's going to be, the expectation is going to be your, American workers to work it. And right now, Ron DeSantis, he signed a bill recently to have minors, kids, be able to work longer hours. To have, normally, children, I know when I was in school, like you couldn't work past like a certain time limit. Oh, DeSantis wrote something, he put something in place. I talked about it on this channel, on my channel, about like with extending the length of hours that the kids are able to work. I believe the reason why he's doing that is because with him thinking about, okay, with a lot of the illegal immigrants being removed from the state, it's going to be a lot of jobs available. The low paying jobs. Remember, we talk about people say, oh, it's a lot of jobs out there. Yeah, what kind of jobs? Hey, what's up, Eric? What kind of jobs? What kind of jobs? Are you signing up for to go work at the grocery store stocking shelves? Are you okay with signing up to go work to do hospitality? Because right now, this is where job opportunities are. So this is factored into these numbers. Oh yeah, 177,000 jobs. Okay, because a lot of the people, the legal immigrants that were here working a lot of these jobs, they're not here anymore. They're not at those hotels like that. They're not at these hotels like that. Richard says, as a trade relationship resolve constantly, however, China engages in trade with a vast network of countries and has expanded its trading partnerships considerably over the years. Yes, that's why I see China right now. They've talked about, I've talked about it also on other lives. They are working towards just doing whatever needs to be done to just get used to not having to depend on the U.S., which I'm not mad at, because I think that we should do the same thing. In the beginning, yes, it's hard, but you have to learn how to break those ties when you see that maybe you got an maybe unhealthy relationship with somebody. You got to break away, and it's not always easy to break away. So China, like, yo, like, I know, listen, we going through it right now, but listen, we building other relationships with other countries, and it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And I've talked about those countries. I don't have those notes in front of me, but I've talked about those countries that China is currently working with and partnering with to get to it. To get to it. That's what they're doing. U.S., it seems like what Trump is trying to do, he's more so looking at just bringing more manufacturing to the U.S. and us just doing it ourselves. So not so much where I don't feel like he's focused. I mean, he's trying to entice other countries to come to our country to set up shop. But I don't see what he's not doing is trying to replace China with like another country where we're heavily dependent on. He's like, yo, we need to like try to do this ish ourselves. So with that being said, I want to offer incentives to other countries for them to come to our country and to set up shop. So therefore, we don't have to rely on like, with the whole export type thing, import, export. We just got things here and we don't have to worry about tariffs like that. So China got their game plan with how they're trying to move going forward. And, President Trump has this as well. And it's just going to take time for the U.S. as well as China to kind of see, how things work out with the new shift, with China trying to move away from, dependency on the U.S., the U.S. trying to move away from the dependency on China. It's just a matter of just time. Only time could tell if either one of these strategies is really going to work for the working class people like me and you. Detroit said 145 economies trade more with China than with the U.S. All of the Southeast, most of Africa, Brazil, and other South American countries, and Australia. I believe I learned that China's biggest customer, though, is the U.S. So they may have, the other countries that they partner with, but their biggest, like, customer was, like the U.S. Sassy Mo says, people don't want to deal with the U.S. because of those tariffs. Yeah, so China's like, listen, we got to make it do what it do. So I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at any country trying to do what's best for their country and their people. I think that's what a leader should be doing. Anthony says those other countries, most are got the expensive in U.S. Trump's giving them incentives to come back. Grizzle said usually people don't want to deal with anybody who has fair standards or self-respect. The tides are definitely changing. So another industry that's experiencing significant job losses is transportation. There's a shortage of skilled workers like truck drivers, warehouse personnel, and public transit workers. Now the tariffs issue have impacted the industry severely. So right now, already outside of the whole tariff industry, there was already a struggle with the trucking industry. Just not enough skilled workers. And with this tariff situation, the domino effect to that is like the trucks aren't moving because they don't have anything in the trailers to haul. Like, where we going? Like, what we driving? What we doing? We driving to McDonald's, get us something to eat. Like, where we going? There was one trucker I was listening to online. He was giving his testimony, and he was saying that the way the industry is right now with the trucking industry, he has never seen anything like it in 10 years with how there's no work. And he was literally at the truck stop waiting for his turn to shower. He said when he got to that truck stop, it was like 27 people before him waiting in line to shower. And he had already been there for 4 hours. So as he was recording, doing his video, it was like 3 people ahead of him already. So he had moved up in the line to where he was now 4th in line. It was 3 people ahead of him. He said, ain't nobody got nothing to do but to go to truck stops and take a shower because there is no work. There is no work. So people are just sitting. People are sitting. There was a one trucking company in Los Angeles, the company that said they're kind of doing, down bad. They have like 20 plus trucks on their property that are all valued at $500,000 plus. And he was like, they're not moving. There's no work. And he's like, another 6 months, we're going to be out of business. Like, we're not going to even be around anymore. And he's like, it's not even just my company. It's just other companies as well in the trucking industry. The work isn't here. The ports are dry. There's nothing. There is nothing. Pat Jagger says other countries can buy from China, but if you want quality, you have to buy American made. True Time says, are you people stupid? They have to deal with the U.S. tariffs or not. The U.S. are the biggest customers in the world. I believe China said their biggest customer is the U.S. Even though they work with other countries, their biggest customer is the U.S. Y'all, this is a domino effect. So I get it. I see why the people hooping and hollering, crying, cussing folks. I understand. I don't understand their language, but I understand the sentiment. I understand the tears. Oh, I understand. Construction. Despite experiencing a labor surplus, the industry faces challenges due to geographic mismatches and other factors that prevent seamless employment. So with the construction, who has money to say buy a lot of the homes and things. I live in Georgia. There's construction. There's homes going up everywhere. Pricing, the lowest I usually see is probably like $400,000 to $500,000 as far as the starting price for a single family home. I always wonder like who's buying these homes, because the homes are getting smaller and smaller, but the price tags are going up. Who's buying the homes? The cost of material has gone up. So that has actually also contributed to the rising costs of homes. So there's several factors. So even though we may look at and watch the interest rates, the interest rates is down low, but still these houses are ridiculously priced, arguably overpriced. And taxes are going up year over year, even though your income isn't going up like that. And for a lot of people, the value that the state or whoever that they're assessing on your for your houses as it pertains to taxes, that's not necessarily when you go to put your house on the market what a person is willing to pay for your house. For example, a house Someone may be willing to pay 400,000 for your house, but you can very well, because I've seen it, go to the state, to look up the taxes assessed for your home and see that they have that value of your home, say assessed at 500,000. So therefore, your taxes are assessed on that 500,000, even though you haven't gotten an offer for 500,000. It's like, okay, where are we pulling this value from? Because the value should be based off of what someone is willing to pay for your home, not based off of some computer systems just estimating what your home is valued at. And that's what's happening. It's just estimate based off of whatever they're basing it off of saying, hey, your home is valued at this, so now this is what we're going to assess your property taxes at. But that's not what somebody came to you as an offer. They're not making an offer to you for that price on your home, but that's the price your taxes are based out of. Y'all better get into it. If you're in the market to buy a home, I recommend you research that part as far as the property taxes and how they are assessed, and the property values, the amount that people are paying for houses today in your city or state. Like, you have to do all of that research, because I tell you, the math is not mathing. The math is not mathing out here. So make sure it makes sense, with anything that you do as far as the purchases that you're making. Chrisippi says they assess my house extremely low for tax purposes in Mississippi. That's local counties voting on those property taxes. So in some places, it's not that case. I think the example that I was using was like Texas. It was a content creator who does content centered around real estate, and he showed, for the state of Texas, a house that was on the market. It had constantly dropped. It had dropped the price like a couple of times, and it was now down to like 300,000. But when you click on the button and the data, the system that where the house was being listed at, it can take you to the tax records for that house, and it showed that the taxes for that house was assessed on like 400,000. It was just an amount that was much larger than what this person was able to get with trying to sell their home. So this is what I'm talking about. It's like, how you assessing my house on a higher amount than what someone's willing to pay me for this house. The math just isn't mathing. Crispy said Texas also has no state income tax. Yes, I've talked about that over here too. The states there's by like 10 states. I mean, there's like 10 states that has the that's listed as like a no income tax state. So you definitely got to make sure you do your research before you go out and make like these big purchases, especially if it's centered around financing. You want to make sure you have a good understanding. Let's talk about manufacturing. Manufacturing is another industry that has significantly been impacted with the job losses. The pandemic led to significant job losses in this sector, and while some recovery has occurred, many positions remain unfilled. So manufacturing, this is that sector that President Trump is wanting to build upon. He's wanting us to kind of go back to making things, because we kind of have moved away from making things back. I think from what I learned back in the 80s, we moved into more of a service-led country versus manufacturing. So we moved away from that. So he's trying to kind of bring it back. So therefore, we're making our goods instead of relying on other countries to make them for us, relying on Canada, Mexico, China. He's like, no, we need to do that at home. And for starters, we need to start back implementing these types of programs and things into the schools, high schools. Remember, there was a time when there was like wood shop. I remember in high school there was engineering classes. So when I graduated high school in 99, so up until then, so at least in the 90s, at that point, we still had wood shop where students, mostly would be males. I didn't know any girls who took wood shop, but they had wood shop, and you can learn how to, make things with your hands. They had engineering classes, so you had the different engineering classes that you could take, and that was heavily with the use of hands. A guy, my high school boyfriend, he took all the engineering classes because he was on path to become an engineer. So that was great for him. His best friend took the woodshop classes so he could make things with his hands. Those things aren't in the schools anymore. You got programs like cybersecurity, like you have more, like I said, like more service-led programs, things that kind of push in the students to think about college, higher learning, like getting in debt. So it's programs centered around that, and not as much centered around like trade school type things. And I personally think, or know that you can make a good living from learning something that's centered around trade school, vocational schools. Anthony says vocational training in high school, they don't have that like that. Like these are, listen, it's not there like that. They're pushing kids to go into debt, go to college like that. That's what I was sold on. That's why I got a lot of education, degrees, and all of that come with debt and stuff, because that was the agenda to push us into to going into college and to put us in these situations where now today, starting tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo, y'all. Those of you who have student loans like me, like, are you ready to start back paying on those student loans? Are any of you in default? Because listen, the government is coming for you. They like, listen, if you are in default, which they say right now 5 million Americans are, we will get our money by any means necessary. We will get our money. Well, if we gotta garnish your check, we gonna get it. If we gotta intercept your tax refund and take it from there, we're going to get it. And we're even willing to hit your credit report. We really even hit your credit report and put a stain on your credit report. Listen, we are going to get it. Oh, and seniors, don't think you out the clear. Seniors, we willing to come for your Social Security check and get our money. No one's exempt from getting his work, basically, is the moral of the story. So I've said on many lives, Cinco de Mayo is hitting very differently this year in 2025. Are you ready? I know one thing I'm ready for is that Diddy trial. That Diddy trial to start tomorrow, too. I heard he trying to plead crazy. I don't know, though. But I don't cover that type of content no more. But Diddy trial tomorrow, Cinco de Mayo. Student loans, payments due tomorrow, Cinco de Mayo. Listen, we talking about everything but the meaning behind Cinco de Mayo. They didn't just straight hijacked Cinco de Mayo. This is my opinion. Cinco de Mayo didn't got hijacked. Ain't nobody talking about the real meaning behind it. It has its whole new meaning. It has a whole new meaning this year in 2025. Retail and hospitality, reducing consumer spending. That typically is impacted when there's talks of recessions. So, right, retail, people ain't really trying to go out and just spend the money that they don't have like they normally was doing. People are trying to be kind of, smarter, hold on to the coin a little tighter, because it's just like, it's just getting real. It's just getting real. It's like, I know I used to spend when I really didn't have it, but I really, really don't have it. Like, I really don't have it. And you done told me that student loans due on Cinco de Mayo. Oh, I can't be hitting up Marshalls like I normally do. I can't. Louis Vuitton, what? All I can afford is just trying to go to Temu and see if they can send me a Louis Vuitton, because I can't afford to go to Louis and get one directly from him. I just ain't got it, Chic. I ain't got it. Temu talking about they got a little version. I can probably pay the Temu price, but I can't pay the LV price. I ain't got it. I ain't got it. Folks ain't got it. So hospitality, the hotels. People ain't traveling like that to go stay in these hotels and stuff, because listen, they ain't got it. Who got money to be going to Disney World? Listen, ain't nobody got money for that right now. Ain't nobody got money for that. So that's why these industries are really feeling it. Personal and laundry services, an increase in home-based work. There has been a decrease or an increase in home-based work, which has reduced travel. If you working at home, half of y'all know when you do your Zoom calls, you just make sure you dress listen, you got pajama pants on, if you even got pants on, some little shorts, some cutoff shorts, booty shorts, whatever you got, because remember, the Zoom is just right here. So you ain't worried about trying to go out and buy no work clothes, trying to run to the cleaners, put some heels on, it's about to hurt your dogs. You ain't worried about all that, because you just got drawers on anyway. Quiet as a kept. Some of y'all be on them Teams meeting with just drawers on and a shirt. and maybe some socks. Maybe some socks. It's about the rotation of the shirt. My boss recently said, listen, y'all, I got 5 shirts. I wash them on the weekends and I rotate them out. So y'all don't be looking at me side-eye thinking that I'm wearing the same thing. This is what he said because he's legit home 100%. He's in another state. There's no home office there. So I'm in Georgia. My boss is in Florida. He's like, listen, he ain't say ish about no pants. So he might just have drawers on. He might just have drawers on. My other counterpart was like, well, from what I can tell, you just don't own no pants. He just laughed. He didn't say he did, because how would we know? How would we know? Ain't nobody got no money for no dry cleaning. Why? Because you just wearing drawers and panties anyway. And a cute little top. That's all. I mean, listen, I ain't got it. I can't afford nothing at the bottom. I just bet chic. All I got, I can only afford a shirt. That's all I can afford. I can only afford the shirt. Richard says the U.S. could be facing a significant loss in the tourist trade this year, potentially losing up to $90 billion in revenue due to reduced international travel. Tell me, who got some international trips booked this year? Y'all let me know. I know this year my travels are all in-state, in U.S. Spring break, we were in D.C., but U.S. is so large to where there's so many places I've never been. So this year, D.C. was our destination. So that's a check off the bucket list. And in the fall, I'm heading to Texas. I've never been boots on ground in Texas. I've flown in the airplane, had layover, sat on a plane in Texas, but I want to be boots on ground in Texas. So in the fall, I plan to check out Houston and Dallas. So those are kind of, to me, kind of almost classified as staycations. You know, I'm not leaving the country. I'm normally good for leaving the country, going somewhere where I need to pull my passport out, but not this year. Not this year. And I just, I just feel like it's not necessary. I can just stay within the U.S. and just, see if I can find a reasonably priced flight. D.C. was a road trip, so I didn't have to pay for flight tickets to go to D.C. But how many of you all, like, your travels is going to be something like closer to home, and it's just not going to be all that deep like that. It's not going to be that deep like that. So another industry that's heavily impacted by the job losses is the information services. They've been hit hard due to recessions that are expected to take place. And then the accommodation and food services, reduced travel due to the downturn of the economy. So how many of y'all still paying all them service fees for DoorDash and all of that? That is one service I just never got into. Y'all, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night knowing I paid them service fees just for somebody to come deliver something to me. I'm not that lazy, y'all. I'm not even the person that's going to stay in a drive-through line real long, opposed to just getting out and just going in there. That's just not me. My laziness just ain't never been on that type of level. Now, I ain't trying to get out here and garden and grow something. Now, my laziness is definitely there. She ain't trying to get in the yard and grow a dang thing, pick no flower, plant no flower. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not there. But what I will do, I will get out my car, go inside of an establishment, do what I need to do, and come back out. I'm not up for just sitting in some long line just because I don't want to get out the car. So I'm not going to pay no extra fees for convenience with these food delivery services. I can't do it. McDonald's, normally with the meal $10, but after they didn't add the fees and stuff, now you paying $20. I can't do it. I can't do it. So industries such as like these food services, I've already learned that McDonald's is seeing a reduction in their sales. Who else was it I saw that said they had reduction? It was another food, Chipotle. Y'all know Chipotle is not cheap. I don't frequent them either. I go to Moe's. They're a little cheaper, and they give you chips. Chipotle make you pay for their chips. I'll be right across the street at Moe's. Chipotle has seen a reduction in their sales, as well as McDonald's. People just ain't got it. People ain't got it. They like, listen, they telling their kids, listen, you finna eat these cold cuts and chips. You finna eat these hot dogs and these chicken nuggets. Listen, these chicken nuggets that I threw in the air fryer. These are different times. These are different times for many people. Sassy said, if Trump wants to make America great again, why is the stuff still made overseas? Why not here? Shouldn't he lead by example? Detroit said tourism is the biggest industry to Florida and Hawaii. Yeah, Governor DeSantis said that for their spring break time, they seen a lot of people still coming over from Canada. He said, he was like, I thought y'all wasn't coming over here no more. He said, the Canadian was like, oh, I don't know what they talking about. Yes, we. So sometimes, y'all, the messaging from the leaders be real different from the locals, the people on the ground, the workers, because DeSantis says it was so many people, Canadians, at Disney during spring break to where he just had to ask him like, yo, I thought y'all said y'all weren't coming over here anymore. And they said, that's a lie. That's a lie. They said, no, we still coming through. And he said they was there deep. He said it was a lot of Canadians in Florida during spring break. Richard says tariffs and trade disputes can make travel to the U.S. less attractive and more expensive. TK said can't afford Chipotle anymore. Times is hard. Listen, they make you pay chips. I can't listen. Moe's don't make me pay for these chips. Why I gotta pay y'all for these chips Chipotle. So I never was on hard with Chipotle. Chipotle was always that one I go to on somebody else's dime. If I got the company card, somebody, but not on mine. If I gotta pay for it, I'm going to Moe's or Willie's. If y'all know anything about a Willie's or Moe's, is basically a competitor of Chipotle. Sassy says tourism is a pit stop for New York City. Michael said, once again, no more. That's just factually incorrect and has been fact-checked a million times. Eric Falcon says, you live in Georgia. Yes, I live in Georgia. Detroit says, I hate when MAGA acts ignorant to the facts. Just play innocent in their debate. No balls, backbone, or honor. Richard says, yes, Canadians are still traveling to the U.S., but there has been noticeable decline in travel compared to previous years. In March 2025, both car and air travel from Canada to U.S. Let's see. Ken says, Election Truth Alliance's YouTube stats, not feelings. Ma'am, tomorrow. Zoom says, ma'am, tomorrow is my exam, and I didn't even study a single word. May the Lord be with you. Blue Crab says, Canadians are selling their second homes in Florida. So, yeah, you got some people who are still, some Canadians who are still rocking with the U.S. and making their way to Florida. Then you're going to have some who's not. So that's just with anything, you're going to have, it's just, you're not going to have all, really with anything. So you just follow the data. Sassy says a lot of people have canceled their trips to the U.S. Yeah. So, but I understand. Let's talk about the industries that are least impacted, because not all industries have been heavily impacted as of late, at least. So based off of my findings today on Google, is for the industries that are least impacted, it says healthcare and social assistance. So it still remain a high demand field. So healthcare is one of those fields that it's just always, people gonna always be sick, dying, destitute. Listen, people always gonna be going through it when it comes to their health. So that's a field to where over the years, all my life, I've always heard like the health industry, health fields, those jobs. It's just one of those industries to where you're gonna always be able to get a job. Now, you might lose your job at one place, but because it's in the health industry, it's not going to be as hard as maybe some other industries with going and just lining up another job. So that is kind of what I've learned over the years centered around like the health industry. But I also learned recently that there are some hospitals across the U.S. that are shutting down and that are laying off nurses. I've seen that. I've heard people on the internet talk about nurses talk about being laid off. Right now, what I've also learned is that Canada provides a lot of like medical supplies and things to us. So as we talk about tariffs and what China is not sending over to us anymore, things centered like medicine, medical supplies and things like that, that is also an area that we're impacted by, because China provides a lot of that. I've learned India provides a lot of our generic prescriptions, but China also provides a lot of like with prescriptions and supplies. They come from China. Public utilities, essential work because of services like electricity, water, gas, fundamental and not easily cut. So back to trade schools like your plumbers, your electricians, HVAC. These are also jobs that I've learned more so post high school that are good jobs and industries to get in, and they don't require a college degree. They require for you to have some type of skill. You can do some type of like apprenticeship and things like that. President Trump recently signed some orders that to give money, to make monies available for programs for people to get these types of trades through like apprenticeships, things like that. A lot of what we don't really see or hear a lot about anymore like that, because college is just so heavily pushed and it's so expensive. But you can get to it and make a decent living. I mean, there's people who live I live in a pretty nice neighborhood. There are people who live in my neighborhood who are like, my neighbor is a plumber and he gets to it. He gets to it. And he's a plumber. He sure is. Beautiful home. Another home in Florida. Like, he gets to it. So I've seen firsthand just someone who's just a plumber, and he don't even have his own job. I mean, like, I'm not saying not his own job, his own company. He works for someone, but he's a skilled plumber. And because he can do what he do, he provides services to people, including, myself, my family, plumbing services, things that have happened at our home where can cost like $1,000 for him to go to someone and fix. We give him a few $100s and he'll fix it. You see what I'm saying? So imagine being able to have that hustle to where you got this skill where not only you can work for somebody and get a pretty nice paycheck from it, but you could also offer your services on the side and make a good, decent amount of money. This is what he does. Like I said, he lives a very nice lifestyle. I see it. So it is possible. So do not sleep on those type of jobs. Your electricians, working for the water company, things like that. Do your research. HVAC is a very good field. They get to it. Y'all do your research. Figure out how you can get the funding for these programs, because it's out there. Like I said, President Trump signed something recently about a week or so ago centered around funds for these types of programs, apprenticeships, all of that. There is money, programs out there. You just got to do your due diligence to find it. Consumer staples. People will still purchase essential goods like food and personal products even during tough times. So, listen, people still got to eat. People still got to eat. So if you are in the business centered around like some food and selling people food and selling people personal items, the ladies still gonna need their tampons, they maxi pads. Men gonna still need their shaving kits, the shaving cream. Like, these are things that we still need. So consumer staples, if people who are in the industry of selling those type of goods, they're doing okay. Government and defense services. So these jobs are less susceptible to layoffs during recessions. Y'all know folks started acting a fool. Nerves get bad. I told you it's going down. It was going down earlier this week in China, where people was just in distress with everything that was going on. So again, for the U.S. government and defense services, these are just jobs centered around the protection of people when it gets crazy. And a lot of times when recession, like, people get stressed. And when you ain't got no job and you don't know how you're going to put food on the table, feed your kids, put gas in your vehicles, listen, you can lose it. You can lose it and not think clearly and just go out and just go ham on somebody. You can just get a business to somebody because they didn't caught you on that wrong day at the wrong time. So this is why we have defense services in place to be out in the community, just in case, things just go left, which we've seen more often than once here in the U.S. Things can certainly go left here. Education services. So education is a persistent need. So schools and educational institutes tends to remain operational. So your babies still need to go to school. So we still got the schools open. So you got to have teachers there. We still have colleges. They still getting all the money. They get all the money, even though Trump talking about taking money from whatever. These schools are still getting they have large endowments. These private schools, colleges, like that endowments being like the donors. People donate largely to a lot of these schools, in particular the private schools and these colleges, especially like these Ivy League schools, like the alumni, like people donate, they give back to these institutes, to these schools. So because of that, it's kind of keeping the doors open. So people who do work in these environments, it's it's not a lot of concern with them losing their jobs. But now what we have seen since the Trump administration, we have seen teachers talk about getting their walking papers, not getting their contracts renewed for the following school years. Because the thing about what I've learned years ago with educators, it's like a year by year basis where like it's a contract type situation where each year you learn like, okay, if you're going to be brought back for the next year, basically, is there money? Is it in the budget, or do they like you like that? What's up, Riza? Do they like you like that to bring you back? So a lot of teachers have learned that, yeah, their employers like, yes, it's been real. I know you was teacher of the year. I know that you were teacher of the year, but yeah, we not going to be able to bring you back. We not going to be able to bring you back. If things change, we'll holler at you. We'll reach out to you. But right now, with the way it's looking and these limited funds, because President Trump has removed the Department of Education, which means that funding that was going into these schools is just not there like that. And what I've learned, a lot of teachers talked about how their their salaries were being paid from additional monies that was being provided from the federal government to the states, to the school systems. So now that, as a result of the Doge audits, they decided to cut those funds, the pandemic funds. So they're like, listen, we're not in the pandemic anymore, so we do not need to be paying out these funds. So with that being said, we're going to pull that money back. So a part of that is it has resulted in teachers losing their jobs or being told, hey, next school year, we can't bring you back because we were paying your salary with that pandemic money that we're not getting anymore. It's not there anymore, and there's nowhere right now that we can identify where we can pull it from. This is the message that a lot of teachers have gotten across the country. So to me, I feel like in the fall, it's going to be very interesting to see what the schools are going to look like as it pertains to the number of kids in the classrooms, to a single teacher, because to me, it's already, I've been seeing 30s, 40 numbers for some years now. And to me, that's crazy. That's like too many. I mean, especially with one teacher, maybe if you got 30 kids, 2 teachers, but 30, 40 kids to one teacher, to me, that's like crazy. But for Georgia, for at least in Georgia, for the public schools, that's like a norm of like what you'll see in most of, or a lot of the schools. So I think next year it's going to be that much worse. TK say teachers already don't make much as it is. Exactly. So again, it's a situation like many of you have seen in your companies where they start, releasing people, and the company is now wanting to do more with less. More with less. So that's going to be more work being put on to those who are still there. Many teachers and educators are definitely going to will say that they have seen better days. Better days. So please talk to your children. Tell them don't be working these teachers' nerves. Don't be going to school cutting up. Tell them to go to school, act like they got some sense and some home training, because some of these kids probably going to be getting snapped on. Some of these kids probably going to be snapped on because these teachers like, listen, I'm not here for your ish. I'm already making pennies on the dollar. I'm not here. I can't listen, little Kevin. I can't do this with you today, little Kevin. Lisa. Your mouth is mouthing today. Lisa, listen, Lisa, help me, help you. Help me, help you. We probably gonna have teachers going in the bathroom, drinking and stuff, smoking. Listen, nerves gonna be shot. Nerves is going to be shot. Why? As we say, TK said, these teachers already ain't making much. What's up, Nicole? The teachers ain't making much. So listen, talk to your babies. Just tell them, listen, let's just work with the teachers. Teachers, listen, work with the parents. Listen, we going to have to come together. These are definitely the times that we got to come together in a way that we've never done before. Let's see what else I want to add. Essential services. Businesses like grocery stores and pharmacies providing essential goods and services tend to remain in demand. So those of you who work in a grocery store, you know, it's likely that your job, you're not going to really see a big cut probably from your job, just because you're in an environment that sells essential items that people need. Remember, people finna be wanting toilet paper again, because I feel like the toilet paper craze will be back. Summer 2025 toilet paper craze. Y'all remember during the pandemic, everybody named mama was just fighting, giving people doing 2-piece and a biscuit specials over some toilet paper, paper towel, craziness. Let me tell y'all a story with the toilet paper. My mom was like, during the pandemic, she had went to a store and she wanted to get like some toilet paper and stuff, and they were like, yo, like right now the truck is in the back there. She was like at the beginning, like right when like the store first opened. They were like, yo, okay, we got the truck in the back, they're unloading the truck, putting it on the shelves. Come back in an hour, ma'am. Just come back in an hour. Just 60 minutes. Come back, ma'am. 60 minutes. She left, came back, and it was less than 60 minutes. She went in the stores, and the toilet paper, it wasn't there. So she like, yo, like, hey, where's the toilet paper? They said that you guys were stocking the shelves. It'll be here in an hour. And they were like, well, whatever we got, it's on the shelves. It's there. Basically, the moral of the story is the workers got first dibs, and they went and took that doggone toilet paper off the shelf. They bought it. I'm sure, I hope they probably bought it, but they seen it first. The workers need these same products. Keep that in mind. So I understand. Listen, I understand the hustle, because think about it. If you work in an environment that sold goods, essential items that you also need, would you not try to set something aside for you before you put it out there for the public? To me, makes sense to me, but this is what happened. She said, oh my gosh, she said she was so heated. She said she was talking to her sister in another state. And the sister was like, who was on the phone the whole time, like, wait a minute, I heard them say, come back. You weren't even gone that long, and it was already gone. It was already gone. So you all keep that in mind, that these workers at these stores, they need these same items that me and you need as well. So don't be surprised if you go there and you're there like early and you're like, why aren't the items here? Why are they nearing gone? Because likely the employees, they didn't already put it in their trunk. It's already in their trunk. It's in their trunk. They just beat you to it. They said, don't hate me, hate the game. Richard says, additionally, around 600 employees accepted voluntary resignations or retired. This leaves the department with roughly 22,183 employees. It's hard out here. It is hard out here. I'm going to read some more comments, but I want to segue to Bill Gates. Y'all, Bill Gates, listen, like Bill Gates said, listen, I got the solution for you. I got the money. I got the solution. Y'all listen up, because remember, Bill Gates is the one who had all the solutions during the pandemic. So he like, listen, I'm still coming to you with solutions. His solution is the smart city. Y'all let me know, are y'all on to the smart city? The smart cities. Richard says the price of Nike trainers, Levi jeans, and Gap t-shirts will likely rise as tariffs disrupts Asian factory hubs. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Richard says U.S. energy firms are vulnerable if China implements tariff on exports of oil, gas, and coal, according to analysis from AI Jazeera, indirectly impacted. It's hard. Like Mama Duck says, a bid attached for your toilet costs $19 on Amazon, and it's cleaner than using toilet paper. So yes, you got to be resourceful. I know, during the pandemic, a lot of people were going to Amazon and making their purchases there. So that is a viable option right now, to where if you don't want to go into the stores and just tussle with anyone, place your orders on Amazon. Place your orders on Amazon. So that is a viable option. But another option I got for you, Bill Gates said, listen, Bill Gates and his investment firm, Belmont Partners, are building a smart city called Belmont in Arizona, in the Arizona desert near Phoenix. near Phoenix. Are y'all aware of that? Risa said, y'all don't trust Gates. Who trusts Gates? Let me know in the comments. Do you trust Gates? Are you team Gates? Do you trust Gates? Because he's like, listen, y'all come over here to Arizona. Y'all gonna be, listen, I'm gonna have food for you. I'm gonna have hospitals. I'm gonna have police stations for you. Brody said, nobody. Nobody. You on the key sweat. Nobody, baby. Nobody. Bill Gates said, listen, don't X me out just yet. Don't X me out just yet. He said, the project involves developing a 25,000 acre area with 80,000 residential units, office space, retail areas, and amenities like schools and police stations. The city is designed to be a forward-thinking community that embraces cutting-edge technology, including high-speed digital network data centers and in the AV, the autonomous vehicles, and more. Y'all ready for that? Listen, he said we got what you need. Listen, you come over here. You what you going to New York for? What you got to go to Atlanta for? Why you going to Miami? Why you going to Texas for what? We got what you need over here in our smart city. This is where it's at. This is where it's at. Now, y'all, this is what Bill Gates said. Key features of the Belmont Smart City. So the location, it'll be west of Phoenix, Arizona, in West Valley. The size of it it'll be the size of like Temple, Arizona, which is 40 acres. It's going to be 40 square miles. So it's going to have a 40 square mile radius. That's how large the city will be. Is that big enough for you? Population is projected to house around 200,000 people. So are we going to be on some first come, first serve? Y'all think people are going to be flocking to the smart city, to Bill Gates' smart city? Because it's only going to be able to house about 200,000 people. 200,000 people. Infrastructure, it'll be built around high-speed digital network and data centers and other technologies. So, you know, somebody may have a smart home where you go in and, I'm an example, like my husband, he's in IT. So like cameras everywhere. Like I have like all kinds of just smart stuff. And so basically think of just your whole environment everywhere you go being that way, where everything is just digital, just smart, everything. This is basically what you can expect there. The vision is as it'll be a city of the future that is designed to be sustainable, technologically advanced, and efficient. So if you're into all of that, you're a techie and you're like, listen, I want virtual reality to be just my reality. Forget putting the glasses on. Listen, I just want to go into a world where just without glasses, this is just the way it is. This is where he said you're wanting to be. Nicole said, are you promoting the smart city? How do you feel about the smart city? Then ask China how they feel about their smart cities when they don't meet the social credit score. No, actually, I'm just putting out the information because I wanted to share that information because it aligns with, are you all familiar with the Netflix series that came out in 2011 called Black Mirror? So, Bill Gates, smart city. Are you here for it? I'm good with where I'm at. But listen, I know a lot of people listen, they sign up for this type of ish. A lot of people sign up for this type of ish. You got a lot of people who just eat, sleep technology. Like they like, listen, bring it to me. EV vehicle, bring it to me. AV vehicle, bring it to me. Whatever, bring it to me. So this is what Bill Gates has out there. He actually started talking about it in 2017. But he hasn't, that's when he first started talking about it. But he hasn't given a date. He hasn't provided a date as to when they'll start building. So this is just information. The information I bring out, this is just information because I bring this up because as we talk about that's what's going on in the current times with how it seems like people are becoming more and more dependent on just the government because they don't have jobs. the creation of a smart city, to me, it's like this world to where it's just the dependency on just like the technologies and the higher ups. And what I feel is that a lot of what's going on today, we're working towards that. Like that's what we're working towards. And the smart city is a prime example of that. You know, you watch the breadcrumbs and you see like where it's leading to. And so I bring up the Netflix series, the sci-fi series called Black Mirror. Let me know, are you familiar with the show Black Mirror? It came out. I learned about it probably during the pandemic. I was listening to someone and just talking about just the way of the world and how we were moving towards a direction that was going to be maybe social credit score, all of that. So they brought up the series Black Mirror. So I went to look at it. Mind you, keep in mind, this came out in 2011. Black Mirror is a British, it was a British series that explored the potential negative consequences of new technology on society and humanity. Each episode tells a separate and standalone story, often with a dystopian or unsettling tone, showcasing how technology can be used against us in the US. So that was 2011. Remember, what did I say? Bill Gates came out in 2017 talking about a smart city. And then fast forward to today, we're talking about AI. I hit you all with the self-driving taxis that Lyft is going to offer this summer and starting in Atlanta. I've even talked to you all on previous lives about New York and them introducing the self-driving like plane taxis, where literally you'll get into like this plane to take you to some place. Like normally, like in New York, you want to get in your car or whatever taxi and drive to some place, and it'll take you, let's just say, an hour. New York, what's projected to be in the future is they'll have these electrical like these taxis that will just fly you there, and they'll be there won't be anyone flying you. So basically, just like with the cars that Lyft will have this summer, where you can, I guess, when you go on the Lyft app and you choose a car, you'll have the option to choose the autonomous vehicle. Well, in New York, you'll have an option to where you can hop on like this plane that'll drive itself. So in like 10 minutes, you'll be at your destination versus say 45 minutes if you were taking a car. So this is where we're at. So all of this is kind of, it just brings it full circle when you hear about like these ideas that people are bringing up. And it's just like, wait a minute, that lines up with what I'm seeing today with how things are going. So that's what it's about. I come out here and I bring the information to you so you can start kind of connecting the dots and seeing that, like, wow, we are definitely working towards that. It's not a matter of if you want it. It's a matter of like what is to come. You all, this is to come. It ain't got ish to do with my opinion or what I want. I'm letting y'all know what's on the way. She ain't got nothing to do with it. It's coming. And I'm letting you know what's coming. Nicole said universal income, which will expire, so you can never gain generational wealth. Exactly. I talked about the universal income. I learned, and I talked about it before, in California, they did a test trial of the universal income with like 100 people. And I think they gave them every month like $500, and just to see like, okay, having this extra money, like, did it make a difference for you? So they has apparently started the test. I think it was in like Walnut Creek, California, and it started before the pandemic. So I felt like the pandemic, when that happened, it kind of skewed things as far as for them to really understand the true data surrounding how people really felt about it, how it really worked. But anyway, so you had like 100 people, and they gave them $500 in addition. So they still worked their jobs, but they got an extra $500. What's up, Dr. J? Welcome. They got an extra $500. And so the study was to see if that extra money like made a difference for their lives. So it was like one guy, who's a part of the study, who shared his story. And he was a family. He was like a single father. He had some kids. His mama lived with him, and I think his regular day job was like a mechanic. And he said the extra $500 like really made a difference for him, because sometimes like when things like unexpected things was like happening or coming up, he had like that money like helped with paying towards that. You know, your car might break down, your kid might get sick, like anything happen. Y'all know when life be life. And so he was like, yeah, like that extra money like really made a difference. So that was them just doing a test. And remember, that was California. It was 100 people, and I think it was just $500. So with this whole universal income thing, I'm aware of it, but I don't like it. And I'm going to tell you why I don't like it. I feel like when you're in a position where someone is giving you something, you're now in a position to where you have to acquiesce to whatever it is that they want to do. You got to play by their rules. And if you don't, they can just take it away from you. So kind of like with like government assistance or someone having like getting EBT or Section 8. These resources can be taken away from you. And even when you have these resources, you're capped at, like, say, the amount of money that you can make. So if you're wanting these resources, you can't think you finna go run out there and get to the bag and think you finna still have Section 8, which is your rent being discounted, or think that you're going to be able to get free vouchers for groceries or whatever. No, you're limited. They're like, hey, if you're going to get these resources, you can't make an income above a certain amount. So when I think about the universal income, I look at it as then the government capping my earning potential. So let's just say they're like, hey, Sheik, all right, then don't work. We'll give you every month $2,500. $2,500, we'll just give that to you. You don't need to work. We're just going to give you $2,500. I don't like that, because I may feel like, okay, I can very well increase that. I can do something to where I can make more money and get to maybe $5,000 a month, $6,000, $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month. The sky is the limit when you're independent, when you don't have to rely on somebody giving you something. And then I think about the government. Say if you piss them off with however you do, then be like, yo, Sheik, I'm really not feeling what you did or what you said. So that I'm not going to give you your $2,500 this month. I'm not going to give it to you at all, or I'm just going to give you $1,000. I need for you to really change how you moving, how you out here talking, doing whatever, because you can't keep doing this. You can't keep doing this. So that's what I think about, because nobody's giving you nothing for free. There's always going to be strings attached, no matter what they say. There's always strings attached to it. And that's the part that's not talked about, the strings attached. What do you have to do for the government? What kind of rules do you have to play by in order to get this check every month? Because it sounds nice to know, oh, okay, I don't have to go out there and get to it myself. As Mama Duck said, nothing's free. I don't have to go out there and get to it myself. The government will get to it, bring it for me. But you have to think at what cost. Question, would you rather go out and get to it yourself and have an unlimited stream of income? Or would you rather play by somebody else's rules, and they tell you when to do it, how to do it, what to say, how to say, and then you're capped at a certain amount? Which one? And that's, like I said, I compare it to like government assistance. These people, when you're getting this government aid, it's a cap. When they go to be reapplying periodically, they have to show their financial statements, tax returns, job statements. They got to see how much money are you making, because they're trying to learn or make sure that you still qualify to get this aid, because they're like, listen, if you're getting this, I'm fine with giving you, X amount of dollars every month, but you can't be trying to go out there and elevate yourself and think you're trying to give more. No, if you're getting these monies from us, then you can't work more than X amount of hours a week, whatever that is, whatever it is, you can't work that much, or you can't make more than X amount of dollars per month. I personally don't like that for me. I like that opportunity of being able to just basically have the amount of money that I make be based on how hard I'm willing to work. Some months or periods in life, I may willing to just work really hard and really get to it and run up the bag. Then some months, maybe I got a situation and I'm not getting to it like that. But at least I know that my success is driven from just me and what I do and my efforts, and not somebody else saying, Sheik, I see your capability, but I want to cap you at how far you can grow with this. I want to kind of keep you down here because I don't want you up here. Listen, I don't want you up here with us. You need to be down here. That's why you have to be careful with who you accept things from, because there's always going to be strings. And as someone said, there's nothing for free. And this is that part about the universal income that they don't really talk about. But I peep game. I peep game. Mama D said, I prefer freedom. I prefer freedom too. Nicole says, if you post something online and it goes against their rules, they will deduct from your credit. Yeah, from your credit. That's the stuff I'm talking about. That's why I like even just as a content creator, and I talk my talk. I'm good with being over here in my little corner on the internet with however many subscribers I got at it. I'm fine with that because I'm not being censored, and my money isn't dependent on me putting out a certain narrative. Like people come on my channel and they'll say, hey, Sheik, you should do politics. You should get into politics, news, whatever. No, because what I've come to learn is that a lot of these people who work for these big networks, they're bought and paid for, which means that they're paid to spew out a certain type of narrative or to speak a certain way, even if they don't even agree with it or believe it. And the moment they go against that, guess what? They're out of here. They blackballed. They done lost a job. Their name is smeared. Y'all have seen it. Y'all have seen it. There's no freedom of speech like that on that level when you're working for a machine. Like I equate it to being like in Hollywood. The same with the actors and the musicians. Y'all know a lot of times they be quiet about certain things. Sometimes they speak up, but a lot of times they be quiet. They don't talk about a lot of things because they can't piss off the people who they report to. These people all report to someone. There's someone who they not just out here doing what they want to do, how they want to do it. No, the bigger the name of the person in the industry, the more likely they're answering to somebody, because somebody can come along and turn their water off at any given time. How often have we seen celebrities who was 1 minute up here and the next minute they down here? Somebody, it's that they're controlled. They're controlled. It's a cost that comes with those hefty paychecks that they received. Are you willing to pay the cost? Are you willing to sacrifice your moral compass, your freedom of speech, all of that? Those people, they signed up for that. So I don't feel sorry for them. I'm just saying it is what it is. They signed up for that lifestyle. And a lot of people, in exchange for money, they're willing to sell their soul, their moral compass. They're willing to do all of that that I'm not willing to do. A lot of people out there are willing to do it. And we see it quite often. We see it all the time, every day. I used to cover celebrity news, like on my channels, like I would talk about it regularly. It's just crazy. So that's why when I see stuff popping off with these celebrities, I just don't even, I can't even get caught up in it because they know what they signed up for. They know what they signed up for. It's in the paperwork. It's in the paperwork. And they're regularly reminded. They're regularly reminded on what they signed up for. They're regularly reminded. Let me see. Anthony says, love family-owned businesses. Nicole said, let me see. Mama says, in other countries, they can put citizens in prison for speaking the way they don't like. Yes, very true. Serena says they lose credibility when they follow a narrative. Riza said, do we have any politicians speaking on this on either side yet? Nope. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. A lot of them, like I said, they're it's like they're puppets, you know, they're controlled. And especially when you see them talk on these big networks, you have Fox News, you have CNN, you have MSNBC. If you all notice that it's a certain narrative that each of the networks have. Whereas with me, I talk about, hey, I like that. Oh, I'm not here for that. Even though I say, hey, I voted for Trump. I tell you, hey, I like what he's doing over here with that. I don't like what he's doing with that. That's where it comes from, because I don't rock with everything that's taking place with this current administration. There are things that I'm cool with, and then there's things that I'm not. So I have the freedom and the ability to speak on that over here on Sheik Speaks on it. If you're new to my channel, welcome, like, share, and subscribe. But that's what I do. I just talk about the good and the bad and the ugly as I see it. I read your comments, and I welcome all comments and opinions, regardless if it aligns with mine or not. It's not about that. It's just about being respectful and having dialogue. Because when I go on and do these lives, I often learn from you all, from the comments, from the comments on the topics that that I discuss over here. So I welcome each one of you all. And speaking of learning and evolving, Nicole says, for example, we have to say unalive. We have to say pew pew. We all have conformed to that. Yes, like we talk, like it's the conform for me. Like so often we talk about what we won't do, what we ain't gonna do, and what we don't want to do, and all of that. But you conform, you acquiesce because it becomes a way of the world. You learn the rules. You learn how to play by the rules. And it's just a matter of what rules are you willing to adhere to play in certain arenas. You know, what rules are you willing to adhere to in order to be invited into certain rules? Life has rules. Welcome, honor students. Welcome. Like the video. When you become a subscriber, you become an honor student. We are lifetime learners. When you become a member, my memberships are $2.99. You become a political honor student, and your name will show up in color. I prioritize reading your comments. Super chats are welcome too. That will also come up in color, and I can prioritize reading your comments. A lot of comments come through the chat, so it's hard for me to see all of them, but the color makes it pop, so therefore it can stand out, and I can read your comments. But I welcome you all. Happy Sunday. I hope you all are doing well. Dr. J says, Chic help. I did a whole life and it has disappeared. Chic help. I did a whole live and it has disappeared. You said your live disappeared. Send me an email about what you did. Because just send me an email on that, Dr. J, about what you did, so I can kind of look more into that for you. Sassy says, Americans are not conditioned to live under a dictatorship. Americans love their guns, and under dictatorship, you can't own one. You said it's showing, coming, upcoming. Okay, so maybe did you do it in StreamYard? Wondering if you did something and it was pre-scheduled. Yeah, I wonder if you did it and it was pre-scheduled. I feel like I did that before. I'm thinking it was probably centered around something, and it said in the timing of when it was started, it was Send me an email. I think the time that I did that, I had 2 lives scheduled, and I went live under one name, and then the other one was still saying pre-scheduled. So it was something funky that happened. So yeah, definitely send me an email, and I'll have to look into that for you. But you all double tap the screen, hitting the like button, because one more topic I want to touch on before we get out of here is Project 2025. Lately, as of late, I've been getting a number of people coming to my chat inquiring about Project 2025 and asking me my opinion on it. Thank you so much, Dr. J, for dropping your Cash App. Also, Dr. J, please feel free to drop the link to your YouTube channel. Dr. J does content, you all, centered around education and just, how it impacts you and yours with the things that are going on. So definitely follow her on her channel. She is a smaller content creator that's growing. We all start somewhere, and she is growing, nearing her first 100 subscribers. Exciting times. Seemed like just yesterday she was working towards 50 just so she can go live. So she's accomplished that goal. Now we're moving on to, getting our first 100 subscribers. So please go and subscribe to her channel. She says she did a live and it's not showing. She having a technical issue with that, but I'm gonna do my best when I get off this live. 83, I know you lying. Wow. Listen, the numbers are numbering. Like, You all don't be afraid to become a content creator. If any of you all ever given thought to content creation, we all have something to say. If you someone and you just live life and experience some things, you have something to talk about. You have something to talk about. And you can have a faceless channel. You don't have to be like me and just be just all out here like this. You don't. You can have a faceless channel as you talk your talk, whatever it is. So step out of your fears, out of your comfort zone, and just get on out there. And you can just do it even from your phone. That's how convenient it is. That's how convenient it is. So, Project 2025. I was listening to an interview with the journalist Katie Couric. Y'all know who Katie Couric is? She's been around for many, many years. And she interviewed a gentleman by the name of David A. Graham. He's an author and a journalist. And he wrote the book titled How Project 2025 is Reshaping America. Have you all read that book? I have the Project 2025 downloaded on my laptop, but I haven't read it in its entirety yet. I've read like a little part of it centered around the idea of reducing the size of the government. And I only read that portion because a friend of mine, during the time of all these layoffs and things, he still fortunately works for the VA, but he was saying that these things that was happening with the cuts with the government jobs, it was outlined in Project 2025. So he was like, go to page 6 or 7 and you can read up on what it says about Project 20, about the wanting to reduce the number of people who work in the government. So I went and just kind of read that section. But I do have it. I think it's about 920 pages, almost 1,000 pages. So I think the vast majority of people haven't read it just because it's so freaking long. But I keep hearing people just keep referencing it. So I listened to an interview with a guy who basically wrote a book. He calls it's more kind of like, it's almost like the cliff notes of the book. But he kind of deep dived into everything. And he talked with Katie Couric about it. So definitely look into, go on YouTube, type in Katie Couric and David A. Graham, and the interview should come up. It was an interview that took place. I don't think it was that long. I didn't pay attention to, let me see, do I still have it up on my laptop? Let me see, when did they do this interview? She did this interview April 24th. I still have it up on my YouTube. So April 24th, 2025, Katie Couric. So she has her YouTube channel, Katie Couric. She spells her last name Couric, Katie, Katie, Couric. And she has a YouTube channel. I didn't know she had a YouTube channel. So she interviewed this gentleman. The video is called Project 2025 is Real, and it's happening now. So I watched that this morning and just took a little notes, but I'll probably go back and try to listen to it again and try to thumb through and look through the Project 2025 some more, because that thing is long. It's a beast, and I got things to do, but I need to take the time to look at it. Nicole says, I've gone over Project 2025 with an attorney and law student. It took about 5 hours. It's disturbing. Listen, it seemed like it'd take a long time, and the way my life's set up, I just haven't been able to do it right now. Riza said, Trump's agenda is Agenda 47, and they keep putting Project 2025 on his name. Roxas says this is global. So let's get into what David Graham had to say. So he wrote the book called How Project 2025 is Reshaping America. He said he's read the entire Project 2025 book, which is about 920 pages. And the book is basically like the cliff notes of the Project 2025. So so a little background of this guy, David, who's basically who interviewed with Katie, providing his opinion of Project 25. David has won the Toner Prize for Excellence in the National Political Reporting in 2021 for his coverage of the 2020 presidential election. So y'all know the 2020 presidential election, it was just a lot. It was very, very, very controversial, centered around did Biden truly win? Did Trump really win? Did he have more of the votes? Y'all remember back then, like when you would see the Trump rallies and everything, it'd be thousands of people there. And then you see Biden's, it'd be about a good 24, 22 people. Y'all know the numbers was never numbering for his events. But somehow, miraculously, he was named as the president of the United States of America. I will add, I did vote for President Trump for the 2020 election. But moving on. David argues that Project 2025 is the intellectual blueprint of the new administration. He breaks down the project's strategy for transforming and radically empowering the executive branch. Graham explains that the architects behind Project 2025 are doing, he breaks down, Graham explains that the architects behind Project 2025 are doing, or he breaks down what they're doing with that power, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So he's saying they're, within this power, it's centered around enforcing traditional gender norms, decimating the civil service, performing mass deportations, reducing reducing corporate regulations and worker protections and more. Basically, he's saying the project is centered more around social economic class and not so much around race. So I haven't read it like deeply, but I've heard people, someone in my life came and said, well, what do you think about, him, basically talking about race or being discriminated against black people, things like that. I haven't read it like that, so I don't have an opinion on that. But this gentleman who did read the book has said he feels like it's centered more around social economic class, basically the haves versus the have-nots, and less centered around race. Those of you who have explored the Project 2025, let me know your thoughts. Do you feel like it's heavily rooted around race or more so around social economic class? Right now, I feel like a lot of what's going on today when it comes to politics is centered more so around socioeconomic class, the haves versus the have-nots, the rich versus the poor, all of that versus black versus white. I don't really feel it heavy centered around black versus white, but that's just me. I'm just one person. David also talked about Trump wanting to really bring women back home, remove them from the workplace, bring them back home, have babies, have more babies. The men go out, work the jobs, bring home the money, bring home the bacon, but come home and still kind of be interactive and engaging with the children. So also, David talked about, Trump wanting it to be kind of, which I knew, with the executive order, basically the world centered around male to female. David says, in the Project 2025, he don't really talk about like removing like people from the LGBT community, but basically centering things around male, female, basically blue or pink. Boys, you wear blue, girls, you wear pink. He talks about, I guess, Trump wanting, when we talk about government and religion, Trump kind of, it being still both kind of emerged together. So when you are like, for example, going up for jobs in these government jobs or whatever, them showing it kind of an interest on like your thoughts kind of centered around that. Him being interested in knowing your views centered around the charges and things that he was accused of, leading up to him becoming president for the second term. Like he's want to kind of know your thoughts, your ideology, things like that, because those things could kind of heavily make a difference on whether or not he wants to have you be a part of his team or just employed just by, the government and things like that. Things that, from what we know, just shouldn't be factors, things that, things that shouldn't be factors when it comes to employment. Nicole says, I feel it's about class. I also feel like they like to keep us divided because when we come together and unite, we are powerful. I agree with that. I've said that multiple times. There's strength in numbers. And I feel like when we come together, centered on just, for example, right now, there are a lot of people who are unemployed, a lot of people, government workers who lost their jobs. They've been out here walking with their signs saying whatever. And when we see that happening in the media, you're not seeing just black or white. Like, you're seeing people representative, like different racial groups, even people from the community, the LGBTQ community. You just see people just coming together in a way that historically we had not seen. A lot of times when we see these meetups, these boycotts, these things, it's centered around, like, people are separated by, like, race. So Black Lives Matter, like, you just seeing, like, predominantly, like, black people walking and speaking about whatever their grievances or concerns are. So that's going to be like a smaller group of people versus, say, when you have people coming together talking about issues such as jobs, not having jobs, or inflation. People from different groups, they're going to be able to relate to that. So it's going to be far more people, coming together, speaking on issues like that, like the hands off, protest they had a couple weekends ago, right before I went to DC. You're going to have more people coming together who have, who share common thoughts and views and feelings centered around just your regular everyday issues than you'll have with, like, a group of people coming together because, say, a black person lost their life when they had an encounter with a police officer. You see what I'm saying? So it's strength in numbers. And I feel like you're seeing less of that, where you'll see a group of black people talking about the things that are, wrongfully done to someone within our community, but you're seeing more protests and things where people coming together when it's centered around just your everyday experiences, because everybody's getting this work. It's not just white, not just black, Hispanic, like, everybody getting this work in these times. Everybody has their struggles. So that's why I feel like today it's more so centered around socioeconomic class conversations versus race. Race is still a thing, but to me, it's not the bigger issue. It's not the bigger issue today. Roxas says, we are slowly being cut off of the resources that our land has to offer by these private corporations. It's very hard out here for us. And as a result of things being super hard, right now, CBS News reported in April 2025, that the birth rates are currently down in the U.S. significantly, like record low birth rates. So people aren't having babies like that anymore. My first thought when I think about it, I'm like, hell, because people probably can't afford them. Kids are expensive. I think I saw that across a child's lifetime. I don't know. It might have said for the year. It said something about $300,000. It might have said for the year. I don't know if that was for the year or for the child lifetime from the time you have them until they're 18. But nonetheless, that's a big number. Let me see if I still got that article up. But it's expensive to raise a child. It is expensive. So it makes sense to me that the birth rates are down low, the birth rates are at an all-time low. According to surveys and anecdotal data, and again, this is coming from CBS News and a report they did in April. It suggests that young adults have a different preference for having children, aspirations for life, and views about parenting norms that are driving the decline in U.S. birth rates. So a lot of the younger people, I think they read in the room. They like, this is hard. I'm out here trying to pay my bills, doing DoorDash, driving Lyft and Uber. I think they're good, doing a really, really good job reading the room and seeing how hard things are. So they're like, nah, I can't do it. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I mean, I see mama struggling. She's still trying to raise my younger siblings. Hell, mama's still trying to help me out. I don't have it to help somebody else out. I'm still 22, 23, 24, 25, still relying on mama and daddy to help me pay my bills, to pay for my medical insurance, to pay for my car insurance. I ain't got it. I cannot afford it. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. So as a result of that, the Trump administration is exploring the idea of paying the American people $5,000, a $5,000 baby bonus. This is what they call it. Y'all, would you sign up? Let me know in the comments. Would any of you sign up to have another child for $5,000? Now, I have not read that it was a reoccurring 5,000. A bonus is like a one time, like here's your bonus. So even let's just say annually, because a lot of times like a bonus. Would you be willing to have another child if the government gave you $5,000 annually? So that means you still need to get up and go to that job that you go to, or sign on to that Teams, turn that camera on with your shirt and whatever you got on below there. Because remember, arguably, you ain't wearing nothing. Are you willing to do that? Do all of that still and earn an extra $5,000 to procreate, to bring life. This is what President Trump is putting on the table. Now, based on the estimate of just with the people that are in this country and the number of people who they feel, how the number of people that they would probably need for it to kind of be beneficial for us to really feel it, to sign up for this, it will cost the U.S. $15 billion a year. $15 billion a year. Y'all, we already in the red. Our debt right now, as of April 3rd, 2025, is $36.22 trillion. This is without the baby bonus. Is that what they call it? They said the baby bonus. So without the baby bonus, our debt is already at 36.22 trillion. So if we throw the baby bonus in the mix, it's going to add another 15 billion a year. So that 36.22 trillion is going to quickly grow. I'm just going to tell you, you can't pay me to have another child. I just can't do it. The way these nerves set up, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. My Thank you, Dee. My kids are 20 years old, finishing up a second year in college, 16-year-old, going into his senior year in high school. So y'all know he about to be gone. And then I have a 15-year-old. I can't do it. Listen, I can't do it. I can't babysit. When my sister messed around and said 6 years ago, I think I can do it again. I said, well, listen up, Buttercup. Let me tell you. Don't be calling on me to be doing no babysitting. Don't no daycare. Listen, I can't do it. My nerves just ain't there no more. The best I can do is first to help you with doing second and third interviews for babysitting, because you need a babysitter. I can do interviews. I can help you do your interviews for your nannies, for your babysitter. That's all I got. That's all I got. Y'all, when she had that baby 6 years ago and I babysat, I lost the pacifier about 2-3 times. I couldn't even keep up with the pacifier. Anybody know anything about having a baby? The pacifier, the bottle, it's like they lifeline. My nerves were so shot. I was only tasked to get the baby up and take her to date. I couldn't get that baby to the daycare fast enough. The teacher there said, yeah, your sister dropped the baby off, dropped the niece off, her nerves was shot. I couldn't do it no more. There is a season for dealing with babies, and I'm out of that season, y'all. I am 44 years old. I ain't had no baby since I was like 30. My last child I had when I was like 29. I think I turned 2010, so I turned 30. Her birthday's January. I turned 30 that year in October. I've been out the game for a long, long time. I can't do it. I knew it was confirmation for me when I lost the pacifier 3 times. The baby ended up going home without the pacifier. Y'all, I couldn't find the pacifier. I think what did I do? I think I ended up having to do a store run to buy another one. The struggle. This didn't have nothing to do with no tariffs. This had nothing to do with no tariffs. This also didn't have nothing to do with no pandemic. This is pre-pandemic nerves. So y'all know these nerves shot. I can't do it. So you can keep your $5,000 bonus. Listen, I can't do it. I can't. I'm sorry. May the Lord be with you for those who can. I just can't do it. Jen said, just imagine a party of people that want illegals to come here and pick fruit and vegetables in the field. Jim said, pick fruit and vegetables in the field. Does that sound familiar? Rissa said, yes, I'm 48 and 11-year-old, and I'm definitely done. Done. I can't do it. It's a season for it all. Listen, President Trump said 5,000. We'll put 5 on it. Like they said, we got 5 on it. 5. So this is still conversation. Nothing's been approved or anything, but the numbers are low. So they're like, listen, with the rate that we're going, if the numbers don't pick up, like, we're going to be in trouble, because listen, you need people to make the world go around right now. Even though we got AI is the future, you still need people. So I guess even when they're thinking about AI in the direction that we're going with AI, there's still going to be a need for people. Don't ask me what the need, what people going to be plugged in yet, because somebody asked, I think somebody was telling me, they asked Bill Gates, like, okay, well, if AI and technology taking over all the jobs, what are the people going to do? Where are they going to go? And his response was, we'll find something for them to do. What do you mean you're going to find something for me to do? That sounds like control. That sounds like I'm finna be doing, it's going to be on some voluntold type stuff. Like, you finna say, get over there and do that. Get over there and do that. What? What do you mean find something for people? What we doing? I want no parts of this smart city he got. I will report on it from what the people on the internet say about it, from wherever they at. But no, I want no parts. At best, maybe I may be able to take a trip over there to check them out. You know, if I trust that I ain't gonna get stuck over there. But I can't do it. I can't call the smart city home. I can't do it. But this is it's on the Bill Gates agenda, smart city in Arizona. It's coming. It's coming. Ready or not. Bill Gates said it's coming. He started talking about it in 2017. Apparently, it's still on the table. Riza said, for those with young, computer techs is definitely the field to push to your children. Yes. TK says, will there be an option eventually? That's a good question, because right now, listen, we all out here moving on options. I think a lot of this stuff, what we talk about, what we ain't going to do and all of that, yes, we say that today. But one day, it'll be a time where it's nothing that's centered around, will you do it, will you not do it? It's going to be how quickly you about to do it, what time you about to do it, when you're about to do it. How about that? So this is where we're at. Like, this is the way of the future. So it's coming. It's a lot. So I had a lot of updates I hit you all with. You all came in late. Be a part of the replay game. Get into this information. We talked about the job market, Lyft bringing self-driving vehicles as soon as this summer, starting in Atlanta, which is where I live. I live in Georgia. I live in Metro Atlanta. It's on its way. We talked about Bill Gates in these smart cities and how it lines up with the Netflix movie, Black. The Black Mirror. Homework, you all. I want you all to. This is the homework for the day. Listen up, buttercups. Listen up, students, honor students. Homework. Go check out Black Mirror. So it's a Netflix series. I seen it a couple of years ago. I might have to go out there and see if it's out there again. Let me see. I wonder if it's still out there. Hold on, let me see. Black Mirror. Y'all need to check it out. Black Mirror is just centered around just the credit scoring society. So what that means is, like, you're associated with a number. So based on your number, the more clout basically you have. So I can't remember I believe the higher the number is, that's going to be the better, like your credit score. So I want to go with the higher the number. So for example, if your number is 700 and then your friend's number is 500, you have more clout when it comes to society, meaning that when you're getting invited to rooms, you're getting better service when you go inside of the airports, because everywhere you go, they're scanning like they're able to pick up what your score is. And I think they did it through the eyes. So they're able to pick up. So like you walk up, say you walk up to the counter in the airport, they'll pick up through your eyes, oh, your credit score, your social score, it's called your social score is say a 950. Based off it being a 950, that's good. They're gonna be like, oh snap, you're gonna get just red carpet treatment. Don't walk up to that counter and your social score being 150, 150. Oh, they damn near gonna put handcuffs on you. They like, why are you walking the streets? Your social score is 150. Why are you here talking to me? So they treat you based off of your social credit score. And from what I've learned, like in some countries, like they've already like had those types of things implemented. So I want you all to watch it. It's called Black Mirror, and I watched it a couple of years ago on Netflix. It came out in 2011. Check out Black Mirror. It's crazy, yo. It's crazy, and like I said, I hear like it's already popping off in some places. Let me see. Let me see if it's still out here, because it's a little while ago. Netflix. Let's see. Check it out, y'all. It's very interesting. I might, like I said, have to rewatch it just to get a refresher of the nonsense, because it was definitely nonsense. But it just lets you know like where we're going. So like I'm all about like just informing you so you can be just the most prepared that you possibly can. And it's nothing, about fear or anything. It's just like, being in the know. Let me see. Is this Black Mirror Common People? Let me see. Do they got a new season out here? Because it's showing something that's trending right now. Okay. It's showing right now, top 10 new season. Y'all go out here and watch it. So it's right now. It's out on Netflix called Black Mirror. And let me see. Y'all, I gotta go. So homework. So they have a new season out. They have this season. They have a new season out for 2025. It's right now trending. It's number 8 in TV shows. This is season 7. Season 7. So I gotta go out there and get caught up because I've watched it before. I gotta make sure, y'all, that I'm caught up on all the seasons. So go out there and watch it. It's 7 seasons. That's the homework. Black Mirror. We gonna talk about it. Y'all go out here and watch it, and we'll I don't know what day we'll talk about, but y'all just watch it as soon as you can. So therefore, when I come out this week, I'll probably maybe try to talk about it. Maybe this weekend on probably maybe Saturday on a walk and talk. But listen, watch Black Mirror. You might have to binge watch it if you've never seen the other ones. I would recommend you just watch all of them because there are 7 seasons and the episodes range from 3 to 6 episodes within a season. So you should be able to get through it rather quickly. But listen, get into it. Get into it. It might scare the heck out of you. But listen, you got to be ready because Bill Gates like, listen, if you want to come over here to Arizona, to my smart city, this is the type of time we're going to be on. This is the type of time we're going to be on. So if you want to know, okay, what kind of time Gates going to be on, check out Black Mirror. It kind of gives you an idea of like what the world, what like a world centered around like just technology is like. Social credit scores, like everything. Zoloft says every episode is its own story. Yes, so listen, if you can watch all of them, great. But listen, just get into it, even if you just picked up at season 7, because as Zoloft says, each episode is like its own story. But I just recommend you just get into all of them to really take in and just have that understanding of like how deep it goes. Zoloft says the show basically shows ways technology could throw our world into chaos. Zoloft, was you on here when I said Bill Gates? He got his city that he's starting up. He announced it in 2017 in Arizona. He got his smart city that's going to be able to hold about 200,000 people. and it's going to be about 25,000 acres in area, have about 80,000 residential units. Listen, if you want to kind of understand like what an environment like that would kind of be like, I recommend you checking out Black Mirror. You said, what's the name of the Katie Couric interview? That one is called, hold on, let me go to that tab. Y'all, I got a million tabs up. I'll be all over the place preparing for these lives. It's called Project 2025 is Real, and it's happening now. So go to Katie Couric. She has a YouTube channel. So to make it easy for you all, go to Katie Couric's YouTube channel. She spelled KATIE COURIC. And she has a video about, and it says Project 2025 in the title. And it viewed, she uploaded it on April 24th, 2025. So check it out. It's a good interview. It's talking about Project 2025. So homework, check out the Katie Couric interview with David A. Graham, journalist and author. And check out Black Mirror. As much as you can with Black Mirror, because, each episode is different. But I just recommend you just kind of get into all of them. Because it's one of those shows to where it's going to pull you in. You're going to be like, what the? As you let it go on to the next episode. You're just going to clutch your invisible pearls and just to think. And I really think that like with me watching it now and taking into an account the things that have happened, it's probably going to even, hit that much closer to home, because I'll probably be able to see some of the things that's maybe transpired like in the show, where I take notice that in real life, like right now, things like, are showing up as such. You see what I'm saying? Like, you'll watch something and you be like, oh snap, I just seen that last week when I was in New York. I seen that when I went to, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what it's about. Like, you do your research, you just keep an open mind, you listen to people talk, they talk, you follow up with your research, and then you see just how that applies to you and what you got going on. Because sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't, Eric says they already have something like that in Dubai. Yeah. Like, I haven't gone to any place where I took notice that it was centered around that, but I've definitely heard that like other countries already have. I don't know if it was China or Japan, one of those Asian countries, where they already have something like the social credit scoring thing. I know some of these other countries already are like paying people to like have babies, or you get extra monies a year based on like if you're procreating more, just as an incentive to have babies. I think it was Japan, one of these countries, Asian countries, where they also have an issue with their birth rates being low as well. I feel like it's Japan. But it was one of these countries that I learned about a week or so ago that also have low birth rates right now. And they're trying to figure out how to get people to want to, have more kids. So I'm not mad at the people who are like, I can't do it. Because y'all, low key, I truly feel like, and I told my husband this, he feels different. I'm like, if I didn't have kids in these times, I wouldn't want to sign up to like have a child right now. I'm just saying, y'all know I'm honest over here. I just wouldn't be able to do it because I'd be too much in my head on how I'm going to feed this child. How am I going to pay this daycare? My mama still having to work because she can't even imagine retirement right now because how bad the economy is. So who finna watch these kids? I can't, I just can't do it. I can't do it. Like, this is me. I be trying to figure out where the money coming from. I don't just go into stuff knee jerk and be like, oh, it'll all work itself out. That is not your girl. This is not who I am. Let me tell y'all, I am not the girl, the one who just jump into ish and be like, it'll just work. No, 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 no. As y'all can tell with these notes, I deep dive and do research and just go in the weeds. Hence why my background, I have education in clinical mental health counseling. I be trying to understand, why is these people cutting up? Why is this person acting a plum fool? I need to understand why. So that's why I went to school and got a degree in centered around psychology because I'm just trying to understand. And so that's me in all aspects of my life. I have to make sense of things. I can't sleep at night if I can't make sense of it. Hence why I say ask questions. Smart people ask questions because your girl, I be asking them questions. I be asking them questions that nobody else is. And that's how I be coming to y'all with this information because I'm asking the questions. I'm deep diving to look for the answers. Listen, I need I want Pampers and money. You said after 5,000, I'm gonna need that 5,000 plus. I need for you to provide Pampers, the wipes, the formula, all that ish that y'all know times are bad when all of that stuff they got that locked up. Don't think you're going into a store just picking up some Infamil off the shelf. No, you're gonna need to have somebody to come and bring it and go get that key to unlock the cabinet to give you that formula. Times are hard. So all of that ish that's locked away, I'm gonna need all of that plus the 5,000. What else I'm gonna need? Listen, I need everything associated with a child. The college fund, I need all of that. All of that. Co-pays, I need free health care. I need all of that. Because y'all know anybody who had a baby, you get that bill that come in the mail, them babies, y'all, it's in the thousands to have a baby. Back when I was having babies in the 2000s, my first one 2005, my last one 2010, I had insurance, but still, they would kind of send you the invoice still so you can see how much that costs. Y'all, vaginal delivery all day long. It was like 10,000. Y'all, it was crazy. Thousands. No, what? Nobody cutting on nothing. Y'all straight. Listen, I can be a surrogate over here. I have like perfect pregnancies. Vaginal, all three. Still, bill was like $10,000, $8,000, $10,000. Wasn't no surgical procedure. This is the stuff I'm talking about. And we're in 2025. So right now, y'all, it probably costs damn near 20,000 probably your bill is for a vaginal delivery. You going up into somebody's hospital. That's why they get mad at them people who be trying to have a baby in the bathtub at home with the midwife, and they be mad. Have y'all ever seen some of them stories where people roll up on them and trying to accuse the parents of abuse and all of that because they don't want to go into the hospital to have their babies? Hell, they probably can't afford to go into the hospital to have a baby. They having them babies at home in that bathtub that Kamala Harris said that she cleaned collard greens in. That bathtub is now multi-purpose. Kamala said, listen, we clean collard greens in it. We bathe ourselves in it. And some people saying that we're having babies in it. What? This is what we're doing in 2025. Listen, that's what she said. She said she was cleaning collard greens in a bathtub. Listen, don't listen. That's what she said. That's what she said. Zola said, and they want to move us socialized healthcare too. Listen, shut the front door, call the police. It's too much. It's too much. Y'all, watch that show, Black Mirror. Your nerves might be a little shock coming off of it. Some of you might be in denial and be like, oh, no, this can't happen. Listen, listen, anything y'all see in the movies, I need for y'all to understand that issue's already popping off or it's coming to you. Think about things that years ago you watched in movies that are now here today. Even as I say, go all the way back to the Jetsons. How many of y'all grew up watching the Jetsons? Then you had the Flintstones. Those were two different worlds. AI is here. The Jetsons was centered around AI. The microwave, like the flying car, the Jetsons. That's what I'm saying. We are here. We are here. Patrick said the greatest fear run ever. We are here. It is not about fear. It's about being aware of what's popping off and what's going to pop off. You got to be aware. You got to be aware. It's not about, you don't want to be caught off guard. You want to know like, okay, I seen this social credit score situation was coming. Right now, I'm going to work on just trying to clean my credit up. Just make sure I'm in as good of standing as I possibly can with my bills, with my credit cards, with my house notes. Like it's about preparation. That's what it's about. Nicole said, I see movies as documentaries. Clearly, Nicole is very tapped in. An honor student. I hope you're an honor student. I hope you're subscribed to my channel because when you know better, you do better. Each one teach one. And that's what this environment is about. It's about just sharing information, putting the information out there. When you see it in the movies, Just know. Y'all seen what recently Spain had a blackout. Didn't Michelle Obama put out a movie centered around? No, it wasn't Michelle Obama movie. It was another movie. Well, Michelle Obama put out a movie too. Hers was centered around. They had some little power outage little situation too with that one. But did y'all watch the one recently with Angela Bassett and Robert De Niro on Netflix? Listen, y'all don't be sleeping on Netflix. I don't have cable TV, so everything I'm gonna hit y'all with show wise is gonna come from Netflix. Did y'all watch that one with Angela? What was that one called? Let me see what that one's called, because y'all need to watch that one too, where everything went out for like, I don't know if it was a minute or if it was second, but y'all, it was enough to change people's lives. It was enough for people to lose their minds. It was enough for people to lose their lives when the city went black. And then recently, Spain went black for a matter of hours. This show was centered around, I think it might was maybe 2 minutes. Someone had hacked the systems, and just the power things went out. And I think it was maybe like 2 minutes. Let me see the name of that one too. Y'all better get into this stuff. Y'all better get into this stuff. Listen, I don't be coming on here for my health. I be trying to help people out. Let me see. Robert De Niro and Angela Bassett. Let me see. What's the name of that movie? Netflix movie. Zero Day. The movie was called Zero Day. Get into it. Get into it. Zero Day. Angela Bassett played the president. And Robert De Niro was kind of, he had another political, I don't know, he had another role in there centered around, politics or whatever. But Angela Bassett, she played the president. Y'all know she's the best at acting, so she did not disappoint. She did very well. Robert De Niro, y'all know Robert gone Robert. He did his thing too. Get into Zero Day. Get into Black Mirror. Listen. When you know, you know. Nicole, you said it was called Leave the World Behind. Yes, thank you for that. Leave the World Behind. Leave the World Behind. Watch that one too. That one was the Michelle Obama movie. She was like the producer or something centered around that. Y'all get into these movies, and all of these movies, everything that I just said, they was on Netflix. I don't know how much they paying, how much they charge for Netflix these days, but get you a subscription or borrow somebody else's. But y'all get into these shows and these movies. Like, help me help you. I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink. Listen, I'm just trying to lead you to the water. Trying to lead you to the water. Y'all be like, Sheik, where do you get this from? Listen, I'm telling y'all where I get this stuff from. Homework. Black Mirror. Zero Day. Leave the World Behind. Listen, get into it. Get into it. Nicole says the world is a stage, and these are the actors in the world stage. Remember Robert De Niro coming out and calling Donald Trump all kinds of names, and now he's in a movie playing a president. Close the front door. This is what I'm talking about. Sell-off said, get that Netflix research done before the social tax takes you. Eric says, I believe that movie was called Leave the World Behind. Thank you so much. Yes, check out Leave the World Behind. I think that one came out. I don't know if that one probably came out in 23, but it wasn't too long. It was within the last couple of years. So definitely watch Leave the World Behind. When you know, you know, listen, you find your tribe. It's a reason why those of you who found my channel, who rock with me, listen, like attracts like. We on this type of time. I see you, Nicole. I see you. Like, this is what it's about. And everybody, listen, everybody don't be on the same type of time as you. And that is okay. That is okay. That is okay. But some folks going to be left behind, what they say, pissing in the wind, because they just stuck on stupid and they just ain't got a clue. They think everything is just lies and propaganda, whatever. All right, then. All right, then. May the good Lord be with you. May the good Lord be with you. You can lead them to the water, but you can't make them drink. So I come out here and I bring the information, and it's up to you, and you to make it do what it do. Listen, that's on you. I don't come out here to force my views on anybody, but I share them. I share my views. I give you an insight as into this mind of mine, how it works. It's always going. And I'm a Scorpio too. That says enough. That probably explains it to many of you all. You're like, it makes sense. I get it. Mom Duck said, me too. Listen, when you know, you know. Y'all know, listen, we're very aware. What you talking about? Don't start none, won't be none. We got all that all day long. Don't start none, won't be none. What's good? What you want? What you want? What you want? What you want? So that's the type of time I be on. So I move around and I just want to know. I don't like not knowing. I'm a lifetime learner. Nicole said we can all agree and disagree and be civilized. I love channels like this. That's what it's about. And I love followers like you, Nicole, like people who recognize that, listen, it's not about being a right fighter. It's just about just providing your opinion, sharing your thoughts, having an environment where people can come and do just that. And then we learn. We learn from one another. I learn all the time from people in my chat. I don't claim to have all the answers. And I will say, sometimes you may hear me have a stance on one thing, and then I'll switch gears and change that stance. But guess what? I'm going to let you know why I changed it, and it's going to be rooted in new additional information that I now have. That's what you do. You pivot. Because basically, we only know what we know at that time. So as I gain new information, new insights, I come out here and I share it. And sometimes it results in me changing my stance. And sometimes it results in me just going that much harder on my stance. But it's just about you getting the information and doing what you need to do with it. And that's going to be sharing it, evolving. Not just staying like stuck in, no, I'm just going to stay in this way. My mama been voting Democrat all her life. Her mama, her daddy, her great-grand. Okay, I'm going to need more than that. We are in times that it's got to be deeper than my mama told me to vote this way. It has to be. It has to be deeper than that. It has to be. It has to be. So with me, I got told those same messaging. But guess what? I grew. I learned that, you know what? I know he looked like me. I know she may kind of look like me, but they talking some nonsense. They on some other type of stuff. So I'm going to go over here and see what they talking about, because right now what they talking is more in line with my thoughts and ideology. So you see what I'm saying? I'm independent. So I'm rolling with who talking some sense, not what color. I'm not on some Bloods, Crips types things. I'm on like who talking the most sense. Come on now. Who talking the most sense? What you talking about? What you talking about? I don't care what the color of your skin look like. What are you talking about? Are you talking with some sense? Because there's plenty of people out here that look like me that's not talking with some sense. It is what it is. I'm just saying. Reza said, when I first came across you, Chic, I couldn't tell who you voted for or your politics, but I subscribed for a reason. It was thought-provoking. Don't always have to agree, but we definitely learn from each other. Yes, like I voted for Trump, but the thing about it, what I will do, I will talk about the shenanigans that I'm not here for underneath the Trump administration. There are things I'm here for, and then there are things that I'm not. So most of the time with the platforms, it's kind of like hard one way or the other. But with mine, it's not. I voted for Trump, but I will tell you what I'm not here for. So I talk about things just as on a, each thing as he's doing different things. And I'm like, all right, then I'm rocking with that. I don't like that. Okay, but I rock with that too. Like, because here's the thing, you all. There's no one who you are going to love and rock with like that, where every time, everything they say, you're going to be 100% on board. That's with your spouse, your partner, your children, your mama, your daddy, your sister, your neighbor. You're not going to always be 100% in line with everything they say and do. You're not. People disappoint you. But just because they disappoint you and you're not rocking with a particular thing, it don't mean you're throwing a baby out the bathwater. You're just saying, listen, I still support you. I still love you. I don't like that. I don't back that. But I rock with you. And I have faith and I trust that you're going to get it right and you're going to move differently and you're going to do better. That's what conditional, unconditional support, love looks like for people. You don't just throw them out because they disappointed you in one area. That's not fair. People aren't perfect. People are not perfect. So dang sure don't come over here looking for me to be perfect because you dang sure gonna get your feelings hurt because no telling what you're gonna hear me say. Yes, do better. You say, listen, I want you to do better. I still love you. I support you, but I want you to do better. I need for you to do better. And I'm going to help you out. So this is what I do on this channel. I talk about the Trump administration. I talk about areas to where we can do better. I talk about areas to where I feel like, okay, we're doing a good job. So some people, depending on at what point in the conversation you come in, you may not know where my stance is. But that's what it's centered around. I'm very balanced, if you can't tell. And as a Scorpio, that's kind of like a character trait of us. We're kind of balanced people, very kind of balanced, very balanced. So I'm a very balanced person. It's easy for me to see things from different points of view. I'm a mom to boys and I'm a mom to a girl. So I'm raising both. So it's not hard for me to see things from the lens of a male and to see things from the lens of a female. So don't look for me to have a hard stance on one particular thing because of this. This is how I am. This is me. This is me. And I welcome each and every one of you. Q, I love your, thank you so much. Shabu, thank you. She said she liked my hair. Thank you so much. Anthony says, nobody is perfect. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses. Exactly. What's up, Pearl? Nicole says, the first term I voted for Trump. The second time, no, I voted for neither because the choice I had was the lesser of the two evils. In my opinion, that's not a choice. And listen, like in your mindset on this, that was my mindset on the very first time Trump ran in 2016. I did not vote for that man. I thought he was crazy or racist, everything bad thing you can say about a person. That was my opinion of him. And I will honestly say it was rooted in just the information and the narrative that was put out there by the media. So 2020, I voted for Hillary Clinton because my boy Bernie Sanders didn't win. And I was a strong Bernie Sanders fan. Feel the burn. And so my mindset, well, best of two evils. And that's why I voted for Hillary. Exactly that. I did not like her. I still don't. But I was willing to vote her over Donald Trump. And at the same time, I was a staunch Democrat. So I associated with the Democrat Party. Once Trump got into office the first time around, I seen he made what he did for our country, and I then gained the confidence in his ability to run our country. So when he ran in for the 2020 election, that was the first time I voted for him, and he did not win. This past election, for the 2024 election, I voted for him, and he won. Let me just say this. Not that he didn't win. He was not announced as president for 2020. They announced Biden. So I'm not going to say Biden won. Biden was announced as the president. But so I voted for President Trump these last 2 terms. So to each its own. I would never argue someone on their political views, who they vote for. I just trust that everybody has their reason for how they vote. And I feel like how we should be voting is based off of our best interests. It should come down to your best interest. What's in my best interest is not going to be what's in Nicole's best interest, Eric's best interest, Anthony's best interest. Like, we're all individual. It's a personal choice. So I respect your decision. And I just ask that you respect mine. Like, as simple as that. Eric says, although I think Trump is appealing, I didn't vote for Trump. I voted against the Democrats. Let's see. Nicole says, the more I see and hear from Donald Trump, he has a God complex. He calls himself the chosen one. He compares himself to the Lord and Savior, Yeshua. And he also posted a picture of him as the Pope. Listen, recently Trump said that he is the leader of the U.S. and the world. He said the first time he was president, you know, he didn't have like a strong, like, little corner. He didn't have like strong supports. You know, he had a lot of fake people around him. But he was like, this time around, he has a strong team. He says he is the leader of the world as well as the United States of America. So Trump is definitely feeling himself. One thing we're not going to accuse him of is having low self-esteem. We're not going to accuse him of being depressed, having low self-esteem. That man, listen, confidence on 10, on 1,000. Confidence on 1,000. Not on Sundays either. Every day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So he is definitely consistent with that when it comes to like his energy and how he feels about himself, which as individuals, we all should, have confidence in ourselves. Listen, ain't nobody gonna advocate for you better than you, right? So Trump is who he is. Listen, he was giving his parents that work. He's always been who he is, a piece of work. He is definitely a piece of work. But he is the president of the United States. I am a citizen of the United States. He is my president. So because of that, I would never talk against him when it comes to like other nations because I live in the US. Trump is my leader. He's my president. Not the leader of China, not the leader of Canada. I'm a US citizen. So my allegiance is to the leaders within the United States as long as I reside in the US of A. Anthony said, loves him some McDonald's, as do I. Y'all remember Trump fed them boys? With some athletes came to the White House and he fed them a bunch of McDonald's. I had never seen so much McDonald's in one place. I think he did that the first time in his office. That was the time when I wasn't rocking with him. Oh my God. It was so, I said, these kids finna be down stopped up. I think it was a college, was it Notre Dame? Was it a college football team that came to the White House? It was one of them PWI institutes, but y'all, I had never seen such a McDonald's spread in all my days. Big Macs everywhere. Poot says, Trump made me realize I love America. God bless white America. OMG. So it's been a lot, y'all. Like I said, homework. Watch 0 Day on Netflix. Watch Black Mirror. And watch, what was the other one? The last day. Y'all called it. Let me see. I'm going to scroll back up. In here, what did it say? Leave the World Behind. So we need to watch Leave the World Behind. That was a Michelle Obama movie she had on Netflix. I don't think it was a series. I think it was just some movie. I think it was a movie, but Leave the World Behind. It's on Netflix. 0 Day is also on Netflix. It's just one season. It came out this year, starring Robert De Niro and Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett is the sitting president. Robert De Niro was like the previous president. Lights go out. So just like what recently happened with Spain, the lights went out. So watch that. And watch Black Mirror. It's centered around socioeconomic scores and how technology can really wreak havoc on the economy, on the lives of the people. Right now we're moving in the direction of everything being centered around technology, AI. So the Netflix series, they're in season 8, is centered around the cons of that. There's pros to technology, but there are certainly cons. Riza says that was probably the best McDonald's ever. Where I'm from, you have to the county get the good meat. Yeah, I haven't eaten. I don't eat it anymore. I didn't. I think when I learned the last story last year with some teeth being found in the burger, that was enough for me. I'd heard previous stories before, but something about teeth being in the burger, I don't know, it just did it for me. It was the teeth. I'm a teeth person. It did it for me. The teeth being in the meat, I couldn't do it no more. Then the lady talking about her baby, the girl, she had some in her nugget too. She like, mama thought that the baby girl had chipped a tooth. when she was eating a nugget. Mama was like, my baby was like, Mama, like, I hurt my teeth or whatever. And she handed the mama like the nugget, whatever. It was a tooth in it. So the mama naturally started looking like any parent. You looking in your child's mouth, looking to see a tooth out. Baby had all her teeth. It was somebody else's teeth, y'all. It was somebody else's teeth in the chicken nugget. But that was coming off of after I had already seen another story of teeth being found in like meat or whatever at McDonald's. So that was enough for me. It was the teeth for me. It was the teeth for me. So I haven't looked back. So y'all, yeah, y'all make sure you pray over your food. But yeah, so be careful out there. Be vigilant. It's a lot going on. It's hard out here. It's a lot going on. As I say, it's hard out here for a pimp. It is. That is a worldwide message. It is hard. Rizza says, yeah, that's disgusting. Eric said, when Trump made the statement, I have everything I could ever want in the world. Why wouldn't I want you to have it too? That's when he became my president. Listen, everybody got their reason. Listen, he was like, listen. That man had me on, your sons don't need to be playing with people's daughters in sports. Like, that was it for me. So everybody got their thing. It was that. It was him not letting Michael go on over there and play with Michelle at the volleyball. Like, it was that for me at the volleyball game. Like, listen, Michael, you need to go play with Steve, and Michelle gonna go play with Lisa. This is how we gonna do it, okay? This is how we gonna do it. It was that for me. Eric says, I remember that, and that's the media didn't mention, is that's why that what they asked for. So yes, Eric, yeah, because I didn't even know that. I remember them having that McDonald's spread, but the part about that I never heard about was the part about them asking for that. So that's why it's important to be open to having dialogue with other people who maybe have different views than you, because they can likely share and provide new information that can change your perspective, Eric says, when Trump stood on the stage and says birthright citizenship belongs to the descendants of African slaves, that's when he became my president. Yes, y'all, when was your moment? Who do you back? Why do you back them? But I hear you. Like, everybody got the thing that spoke to their soul. What spoke to your soul? What spoke to your soul? But on that note, you all like the video, like, share, and subscribe. As I say, go out into the world, show up in a way in which you want someone to show up for you, meaning like attracts like. Give off good energy. Give off good energy. Any of you who are struggling with your mental health, I do have products on Amazon centered around mental health, adult coloring books, notebooks, journals, planners, things of that such. If you're interested in any of that on any of my previously posted content, I have links. So just look at my previous content that's probably prior to this weekend. Probably have to go in and update the description to add the links to those products. But just keep looking on my videos and you'll see links that will take you directly to Amazon. The products are all on Prime, range from $5.99 to $7.99. And listen, the products are centered around mental health because, listen, it's hard. People are struggling out here. So just everyone, all we can do is what we can. Figure out a way to just make life easier for somebody else. How about that? How about we just start thinking about people beyond ourselves? Also, put more thought into ourselves as well. We got to balance that thing because so many of us are out here worried about everybody else, but not being concerned enough about ourselves. And it's impacting our mental health, our bodies, like all of that. So take care of yourself. No one's going to take care of you like you. Take care of yourself. Advocate for yourself. Stand on business. Stand on business, regardless if someone likes it or not. Nicole said, if you take a look and do more research on that birthright, you would see that it has to do with land as well. Eric says, when Trump said they are not after me, they're after you, I'm just standing in their way. Talk your talk. Everybody, continue to talk your talk. And on that note, it's Sunday. Happy Sunday. Thank you all. Thank you. Like the video. And again, take care of yourselves and one another. I'm Chic. Peace.